after suspected car thieves went across state lines, and that chase ended up in Chicago. The police dog, Rocky, a Dutch Shepherd, it's been with that department for 6 years, was airlifted to the Purdue University Veterinary Teaching Hospital, where Rocky this morning is being treated for a broken paw. Police found 13 catalytic converters and a reciprocating saw in the trunk of that vehicle that suspects apparently stole from the Chicago area. The suspects arrested later are from Homewood. Group of University of Chicago students are demanding school administrators rescind an invitation to Steve Bannon.
We're here to call on the university to do the right thing, disinvite Steve Bannon. Don't stand with him, stand with us.
Dozens held a protest yesterday on campus after a professor invited the former White House chief strategist to speak. Chicago's top cop Eddie Johnson accusing the Civilian Office of Police Accountability of dragging its feet in the case of a police officer they want to fire. The COPA group has ruled that Robert Rialmo's 2015 shooting of a teen, Quintonio LeGrier, and a bystander was unjustified. But Johnson says before he begins to consider their recommendation, he needs all of their evidence. After several weeks of internal haggling, COPA has said they are now complying with Johnson's request. One man is dead following a single vehicle crash in Aurora, the victim driving last night on Heggs Road when his SUV slammed into a tree just north of Route 30. A man is in custody after a standoff near the University of Illinois at Chicago campus. SWAT was called out last night after that man barricaded himself inside of a building in the 1400 block of West Taylor. There's a new bill in Springfield that would ban tackle football for kids under the age of 12. We told you a little bit about this story yesterday, and AM 560's David Stewart has a full update and a follow-up.
Chris Nowinski of the Concussion Legacy Foundation supports the ban because, he says, young people are at a greater risk for neurological damage, including CTE, a debilitating brain disease linked to blows to the head.
This isn't about an act to ban tackle football. This is about an act to prevent children from being hit in the head hundreds of times through sports each season.
The legislation is dubbed the Dave Duerson Act after the former Bears football player who killed himself in 2011 and was found to have CTE. The bill doesn't ban touch or flag football. David Stewart, NBC News Radio, Chicago.
Other stories we're following this morning. The Indiana House has passed a resolution that calls for the study of the benefits of medical marijuana, if any. Stroke survivors are twice as likely as the general population to develop dementia. It's a deep dive report by researchers at Rush University Medical Center here in Chicago. But they say a very healthy diet may help. They surveyed a large group about eating habits over 4 years after suffering a stroke. Those who stuck with a diet rich in olive oil, fish, berries, and veggies had a much slower rate of cognitive decline. Now, multiple studies have confirmed what the researchers at Rush have found out, that healthy eating leads to brain benefits. Alex DeBrincat had a hat trick last night. Blackhawks 5-1 winners over the Red Wings in Detroit. Now the Hawks are off for the All-Star break. The Bulls and Lakers meet tonight at the UC. The Bulls coming in off losses to the Pelicans and Sixers. College hoops, Belmont rolled Eastern Illinois. Denver took care of Western. Tomorrow, Notre Dame entertains Virginia Tech. Eastern Illinois is at Tennessee State. Our Northern Illinois Huskies travel in the MAC to face Western Michigan's Broncos. On Sunday, DePaul will host Seton Hall. In the Valley, SIU plays Missouri State, and Illinois State will host the Crusaders of Valpo on Sunday. Bradley is at Indiana State. And your first place, Loyola Ramblers, will welcome Northern Iowa to town. The news service of Ace. Ace is the helpful place with the helpful hardware folks. Your neighborhood Ace has a wide selection of products from the best brands, including Valspar, Craftsman, Scotts, Toro, Weber, Traeger, and Yeti, plus the expertise you need to take on any project with confidence. Only at Ace, the helpful place. 5:08, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
If you've got an Amazon Alexa device, then you know it can do a lot of things. It can set reminders. It can keep track of your shopping list. It can answer unusual questions. And it can also play this radio station. Just say, Alexa, play The Answer Chicago. That's all it takes, and it works on all Alexa devices. The Echo Dot, and Amazon Show. So now, Alexa will really have all the answers you need.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
For 30 years, we've been making people happy with incredible deals and service.
We're the best Ford Lincoln dealers in town.
Because making people happy makes us happy.
No doubt. This is one happy place.
Heck, we just break into dance all the time.
We don't break into dance at the dealership.
Sure we do.
No, we really don't.
We could. Come on, Marty, dance with me.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Admit it.
Okay, you're a lovely dancer.
Thank you. This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
2018 is an opportunity to grow your business with top talent. But how do you find it? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
What happened? You used to go hours without visiting the bathroom. Now it seems like you're constantly getting up to pee. Listen, the makers of Super Beta Prostate are introducing a new wonder pill, Super Beta Prostate P3 Advanced, with 3 key ingredients that are great for your prostate. To celebrate, your first 30-day supply is free. Pay shipping and handling. Get P3 Advanced free. Call 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360. 1-800-215-9360.
5:10 and a check of your early morning roads. We do that in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center for you, and here's Jim Talamonte.
Good Friday morning, Mike. Inbound Ryan Expressway. It is stop and go from the Stevenson to the Burns Circle. We had some full closures during the early morning hours. There's some construction wrapping up in that area. At least the overnight stuff's wrapping up. And it's 22 minutes from 95th to downtown. The outbound side is delay-free, but there is road work outbound at 87th. There to the split, scheduled till 6 this morning. We've got 3 left lanes blocked on the outbound side. No delays to report on the Aidan, Kennedy, the Eisenhower, and Stevenson. I-57, Bishop Ford just fine. No issues to report right now on the tollways or in northwest Indiana. You'll have traffic in Rosemont later this morning. There are ice shows there. One at 10:30 this morning, and then 1 at 7 tonight. Of course, Bulls traffic on the west side tonight as well. Traffic, service Pringles. Want to know what's easier than making a grilled cheese sandwich? Making a grilled cheese sandwich out of Pringles. Stack up original Pringles, cheddar cheese Pringles, and another original. Boom! You got yourself a grilled cheese stack. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer starts next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Very latest with meteorologist Kevin Snyder.
Today, increasing cloudiness, winds gusting past 40 miles per hour, mild with a high 53. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild tonight, low 41. Breezy with partial sunshine tomorrow, high 46. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 40 at O'Hare, 41 along Chicago's lakefront, 39 Midway, 32 this morning in Aurora. And your next news update is at 5:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy starts now on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Secure Retirement Radio with host Raj Shah. Sunday mornings at 7 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy, and they sprung us. We were in Lake County Jail for a minute there yesterday after our broadcast, but Amy bonded us out. We appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. You're going to pay me back, though, right?
Yeah, and we do thank Lake County Sheriff Mark Kern and everybody at Lake County, the sheriff's office. It was fun up there, and they were great hosts.
And I have something for you.
Oh, you do?
It's your poster.
Oh, my Rita Hayworth poster.
Yeah, but it's signed now.
When
by the sheriff, and read it out loud, Dan.
If I ever do need to tunnel out, this could come in handy. Is this his penmanship is not great. Yo Dan or Go Dan?
It's called To Dan.
Oh, To Dan. That's a T?
Yeah, it's a fancy T.
You and Rita would make a great couple, maybe a time machine. Signed, Sheriff Mark Kern. Yeah. Yeah. I've always said I've been born in the wrong epoch, basically.
You missed the tour after the show. So Keith and Eric and I went and
how was that?
It wasn't a
play Keystone Cops.
It wasn't rainbows and unicorns like our friend Jason said it was with PlayStation and stuff. It was it's depressing. I mean, it's pretty bad. You do not. Yeah, the doors were heavy. There are many locks, many doors to go through.
Yeah, I think people get the concept of a prison. Yeah.
And then we went to the segregation unit where everyone's in for 23 hours. They just come out to shower, have 1 hour to themselves. They could stretch out, then they go back in the cell. And it felt like there were animals, like caged animals, because they were pounding on the door. And,
did you talk to them?
No, I just
you didn't go in and say, "What are you in for?"
Hi, do you have a plan?
Yeah.
What's your plan?
When you get out of prison for that triple homicide, what do you plan to do? A vocational school?
Most people, that are in the shoe do not. They're in for life. I mean, triple murders, double murders. It's a crazy. But they took us through the booking process, and where if you're drunk, you go over here. If you're high on drugs, you go over here because they have to separate people. But
what if you're drunk and high on drugs?
Then you
have to do both lines.
The special room.
Yeah.
It's just depressing. I mean, it's so.
Did you any pictures with the inmates for their walls? You're
modern
day Rita Hayworth yourself.
I took a ton of selfies. No, one block that we went to, the people kept looking at me, and I'm like, you know what? Time to leave. Time to go. Let's go. I was just getting the stink eye, and I don't know. I mean, of course we were safe and protected, but
right, because you were on the other side of the bars.
No,
it was like you were.
No, they were out.
Oh,
they were out walking around in one of the tier blocks.
Oh, okay. Did you go out in the yard and?
No, we did go in the yard because there's a basketball hoop,
they have
and I thought this is a better hoop than we have at Blaine.
A Peloton out there or something? You guys could lead a little class.
Well, they used to have weights, to work like barbells and things, but then one inmate had a brain aneurysm because he was lifting, and he was lifting so hard that he had to stroked out and he died. So now they don't have weights anymore. So they have
It's an interesting.
That's why the reason why they got rid of them.
Yeah, cause and effect, because one guy had a stroke while he was working out. Nobody gets to work out.
No one gets to work out. So they just have.
It's just odd.
I know, because I was waiting for the jail guard to say that somebody took a plate and hits another inmate on the head. No, it's just because somebody had a brain aneurysm and stroked out.
So now it's all hot yoga there? What do
no,
they do?
now they just have an abs bench. It's awful. I mean, they really, that's pretty sad.
So your main concern was the workout facilities for the inmates. That's the big takeaway from Lake County Jail.
But it's clean, and unlike Cook County, they make the inmates in the morning get up and clean up their mess. They have to sanitize everything. The stairs, the railings, their cells, the common areas. They have to clean it all up. They do have 2 nice TVs in each cell block for the inmates to watch.
Oh.
Flat screens. Nice.
No, I mean...
but I didn't see any PlayStation 4. I don't know what our friend Jose...
Jason. Sure, Jose is a fine handle.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, he mentioned, he's kind of in a special class of...
Yeah.
Of
inmates.
Yes.
But we never got up there.
World-class inmates.
And then the 5th floor is all women, but we didn't go there either.
Why not?
I don't know. I've been that's really depressing. When I went to 26 and Cal, I went to the women's section, and it's just.
What's depressing about it? Why is it more depressing than the men?
Because it's women. I don't know. They're supposed to be dainty, pretty flowers, and they're mass murderers. That's why it's so depressing.
I suppose that could kind of end the day on a down note.
Yeah, down note.
Sure.
And last time I went to 2026 in Cal, there was a woman there with her newborn, too. So it was just weird to see a baby.
The baby was in prison?
Mm-hmm. Well, she had just given birth to her, so she had her for a few more weeks, and then they had to give her up. So that's depressing. Now I'm depressed.
Well,
say something funny, Dan. Come
you know,
on.
they can't all be Will Arnett comedies, you know,
Right,
when you talk about prison. So.
But it was great, and that's a well-run prison, and I love Lake County. I might even move there.
You know, we didn't get when we talked to the chief, the inmate programs officer, Witherspoon, Chief Witherspoon.
Yeah.
We didn't get to talk to her about like the Christian fellowship they do in prison, a la Chuck Colson, because we talked to her about that off the air. But that was a part of the programming too, in terms of getting people who at least have a reasonable chance to get back on the straight and narrow to do so.
Yep. They showed us the room where they meet for Christian fellowship. They meet in the library and then sometimes meet in the common areas for the cell blocks. But it's an integral part of the prison.
Well, it was an eye-opening experience. Not for you, you're a penologist.
Yes,
for me, I don't go to these installations very often. So it was, but it was great. Lake County Sheriff's Office again everybody there were great hosts and it was helpful
amazing.
and it was fun. And hopefully you learned a thing or two, as we hope you do every morning.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Connect with Dan and Amy on the AM 560 The Answer mobile app. Just text the word app to 64636 to download the app today.
You're going to love this forecast. 42 degrees right now at O'Hare, going up to a high of 53. And then your weekend looks like this. Saturday, breezy, sunny, a high of 46. And on Sunday, a little bit back to reality. Partly sunny skies, a high of 35. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Dan. Welcome back to the outside world. The traffic's pretty quiet right now, just a little heavy on the inbound Ryan from 18th into the Burns Circle. There was some overnight road work there, which caused bigger delays, but that's all wrapped up. All lanes which are normally open are open now. So it's 18 minutes, 95th to downtown. Outbound Pond at 15. There's road work at 87th, 3 left lanes. On Bishop Ford, a little tight now, 103rd to the merge. We've got a 2-minute delay. Outbound, left lane is closed. Dalton Avenue, 159th till 7 this morning. The other expressways and tollways look fine right now. We have no problems to report on any of the area rail lines. Jim Talamonte and the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Hello. I have an important MyPillow reminder. The buy one, get one free offer expires at the end of January. Do you like how my voice is changing? I'm like Peter Brady over here. This deal is only available using the promo code Amy. Not available in stores. So
Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na.
Sha-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. Sha-na-na-na-na. So go to MyPillow.com, type Amy in the promo code, 2 MyPillows for the price of 1. You know, the sheriff was asking me about them yesterday because I always hear the ads, and he said, do you really like your MyPillow? And I said, yes, I can move the fill to give me the support I need, regardless if I sleep on my back or my side. I love it that I can throw it in the wash. I love that it's made in America. And there's a 10-year warranty and 60-day money-back guarantee. So get your buy one, get one free MyPillow before the end of January by going to MyPillow.com or just call 800-489-0201. That's 800-489-0201. Promo code Amy.
A storm is on the horizon, and you need to keep the lights on no matter what. Your business relies on the power being on 24/7. It's the lifeblood of your data and computer systems. Weather-related outages from the power company are not acceptable. Your need for a source of power that's reliable 24/7, along with round-the-clock service that can dispatch technicians to your site immediately, is mission critical. Your business needs Charles Equipment Energy Systems on speed dial. These are the big boys, not residential or solar, but reliable industrial generators for emergency backup or events. When you need more than a 100-foot extension cord plugged into a small engine generator, call Charles Equipment Energy Systems. They keep the lights on with rental generators for job sites or power outages. Stay warm this winter. Plan ahead. Call now to prepare generators for winter storms and potential power outages. Call 630-834-6000. That's 630-834-6000 or charlesequipment.com. charlesequipment.com.
Message and data rates may apply. Earning your degree from one of the top business schools in the country might sound impossible to fit into your workload.
But what if there was a business degree that furthered your career and gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors, all on your schedule? One that opened doors to some of the most influential CEOs, tech companies, law firms, entrepreneurs, and thought leaders. And what if you could earn that degree in as little as 16 months, 100% online? Find out more. Text LEGACY to 79645. That's LEGACY to 79645. Start your online MBA, Information Management, or Business Analytics Master's Program from the W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University today. Learn more about the W.P. Carey Business Graduate Programs online. Text LEGACY to 79645. That's LEGACY to 79645.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. On the occasion of the 44th Annual March for Life, commemorating the worst U.S. Supreme Court decision since Dred Scott, I reflect on my own march. I was born in April 1972, and I was adopted. So had the law been different 9 months earlier, perhaps my birth mother's decision would have been as well. Our rights may come from our Creator, but today, most people equate legal license with moral rectitude. It's not like it's illegal, right? So what's the big deal? For many Americans, it was no big deal that last year Planned Parenthood eliminated 321,384 children created in God's image, just as valuable as me or you or the President of the United States or your favorite actor, athlete, or artist. Roe v. Wade is bad law, both on its merits and its effects. It fueled the drive away from the law as instruction on living the kind, virtuous life. Today, the law mainly serves our how do I get to yes culture by sanctioning the unrestrained appetites of dopamine junkies, so long as the government is cut in on the action. It's one thing for rapacious statists to view us as their sentinels. The trick is getting us to agree with them. Our hope, as exemplified by the March for Life attendees, is to be found in those who don't agree.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, there are worse things than being in prison, Amy.
What? I cannot imagine anything worse than being in prison.
Okay, you asked for it. How about being the human stain's personal assistant? Harvey Weinstein, in addition to all of his other legal problems, is facing a new lawsuit filed in Manhattan by his former personal assistant, Sandeep Rihal.
Oh, I bet she went through HE double hockey sticks.
Much of Miss Rihal's work, according to the lawsuit, as an employee of the Weinstein Company, involved catering to Harvey Weinstein's sexual appetites and activities, and catering to his demeaning and often abusive family members. For example, she was made to clean up the human stains.
That's disgusting. What do you mean she was made to water potted plants?
The couch.
Oh, okay. That is disgusting. I hope she gets millions of dollars from that creep.
She was also the subject of verbal abuse, including being called a blank a blank. No, worse.
Oh, really? Oh, what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How long does she work for him? It's not worth the money, honey. Get away.
What's wrong, Sandeep? Is the tampon up too far today? Weinstein would ask her. Now, just remember, according to Meryl Streep, I'm talking about God here.
She should do more.
All the Hollywood celebs that regaled him and revered him so. Isn't it fascinating? They didn't know, right? Right? Okay. Are they right? No, they're not. Also, another latent accusation. David Copperfield.
Oh, no.
Who made his career disappear some years ago. I don't know. But he's accused of drugging and assaulting a 17-year-old model in 1988, 30 years ago. Brittany Lewis, 17-year-old model with dreams of becoming the next Elle Macpherson, when she says magician David Copperfield drugged and sexually assaulted her. This was after she competed in a modeling contest in which Copperfield was a judge. There are photos from videotape of the modeling contest that were identified that put them in the same place at the same time. But Copperfield's response was always listen and consider everything carefully, but please, for everyone's sake, don't rush to judgment. Okay.
All right.
So are you saying is that a no? Is that it didn't
like
happen?
No.
I mean, would you like to
confirm or deny the underlying accusation that is, Cosby-esque.
And then Vanity Fair, they do their, they celebrate the stars every year, their Hollywood issue. And on the cover was James DeFranco, but they photoshopped
James Franco.
James Franco. Why do I
There's
put
no
DeFranco? James Franco, and they photoshopped him out. So if you look at it now, it looks like Reese Witherspoon has 3 legs because they forgot to get his leg out. So it's funny. But yeah, they took him off because of, the allegations against him. So
Well, and by the way, that's Graydon Carter's swan song.
Oh.
Graydon Carter's leaving Vanity Fair after 25 years at the helm. Yeah. You ever see that? You know who I'm talking about, the guy. He's got that wild hair.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he said the Hollywood issue can be judged by its cover, artful, innovative, and persistent.
And censored.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Trump proposes a DACA deal that is summarily dismissed at 5:38.
But first, let's go into the newsroom. Say good morning to the one and only Mike Scott.
Well, thank you, Amy and Dan. Good morning, everyone. 39 degrees. President Trump's immigration plan includes a pathway to citizenship for nearly 2 million immigrants who were brought to the U.S. illegally as children. However, while protections for dreamers are included in that initial offer, the White House is also demanding an end to the diversity lottery system of visas and an end to chain migration. President Trump is in Davos, Switzerland today, where he's been meeting with other heads of state at the annual World Economic Forum.
Had meetings yesterday and last night, dinner with some of the great business leaders of the world, as you know. And it was very interesting to see and hear. They're very happy with what's happening in the United States.
Meantime, the president is expected to deliver a speech at the summit later today. Special counsel Robert Mueller was reportedly on his way out last summer by order of the president. It's the New York Times that reports Trump ordered Mueller to be fired but backed off when the White House counsel himself threatened to quit instead of carrying out that order.
It was June, a month after Comey had been fired, and the president realized that Mueller was looking at him, looking at his conduct when he was in office. Had he obstructed justice?
That's Times reporter Michael Schmidt who helped break that story. U.S. UN Ambassador Nikki Haley accusing the Palestinian president, Mahmoud Abbas, of hindering the peace process.
President Abbas declared the landmark Oslo peace accords dead. He rejected any American role in peace talks. He insulted the American president.
Speaking at the UN yesterday, Haley said the Middle East peace process is only possible through leadership. One of the most active volcanoes in the world in the Philippines appears to be getting ready to blow. Mount Mayon is billowing black smoke, spewing lava. Measurements taken by satellite indicate the mountain's surface has swelled. The likelihood of a major eruption is increasing. The clock this morning is ticking on the fate of the USA Gymnastics Board. U.S. Olympic Committee calling on now all 21 members to resign following the life sentence of former national team Dr. Larry Nassar. There is a recall underway this morning for 7 brands of frozen green beans and mixed vegetables that may be in your freezer and may be contaminated with listeria. Look for packages from National Frozen Foods. They were sent to 21 states. The teen suspected of opening fire on his classmates at a Kentucky high school will likely be tried as an adult. Probable cause hearing was held Thursday for the 15-year-old defendant accused of killing 2 and injuring more than a dozen. A so-called serial stowaway is now banned from Chicago airports. Marilyn Hartman was arrested last week after sneaking past security at O'Hare and flying all the way to London without a ticket. Cook County judge reduced her bond yesterday and ordered her release, but warned her 3 times, stay away from O'Hare and Midway. Cook County judge denying a transgendered student's request for unrestricted access to the girls' locker room at Palatine High School. Nova Madej is suing, claiming the high school district, 211, requires her to use a private changing area in the locker room. A judge threw out that request yesterday, saying state law does not call for a full and equal access to those school facilities. A sold-out Sox Fest starts tonight. Alex DeBrincat a hat trick. Blackhawks over the Red Wings 5-1. Bulls and Lakers meet tonight at the UC. The news service of Pringles. When you stack up different flavors of Pringles, you create amazing new flavors. Stack up a cheddar cheese, a jalapeno, and a French onion dip Pringles, and you've got yourself the 3-layer dip stack, which makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. 5:33, and we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Mike Gallagher breaks down a huge win for the president.
What I would say is this is what leadership looks like. What I would say is, yep, we still got a long way to go. The government is reopened because the president didn't blink. You know what was different? It was in the messaging. You know who delivers a message like a bolt of lightning? Yeah, that guy that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue these days.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
A bad cold and flu season is upon us. The main difference between them is the flu brings a fever. Be prepared with the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer, backed by more than 70 clinical studies.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
It's 5:35. Let's get an update on the early morning roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim.
Thanks, Mike. It's all quiet on the Edens right now. No delays there. The Kennedy looking good, too. Reversibles are open inbound. The Eisenhower and the Stevenson are still okay as traffic builds for the morning rush. Inbound Ryan is stop and go from Cermak to the Bird Circle. 20 minutes, 95th to downtown. Up on 15, there's road work. 87th to the split in the 3 left lanes. I-57 is fine. Bishoport inbound. 3-minute delay from 103rd to the merge. No problems to report on the tollways or in northwest Indiana. Traffic is the service of Ace. Ace is the place for the helpful hardware phones. Your neighborhood Ace is a wide selection of products from the best brands, including Valspar, Craftsman, Scotts, Toro, Weber, Traeger, and Yeti, plus the expertise you need to take on any project with confidence. Only at Ace, the helpful place. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560. The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Winds becoming stronger, especially those upper-level winds that will bring in the warmer temperatures, increasing clouds. Mild this afternoon will top out near 53. Cloudy, winds subsiding overnight, low 41. And a mild Saturday ahead with a high near 46. Currently, it is 40 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 6. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by In the Know with Wealth Management Group, hosted by Craig Bolanos. Heard Sunday mornings at 10.
Hey, Joe Walsh here. Here's my immigration deal. No amnesty ever. Build the wall now. How about that? We'll talk about that when freedom returns at 5.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So yesterday, a report that Trump outlined a set of policy proposals that would give serious ground on the issue of DACA recipients, provide a path to citizenship for not the estimated 700,000 or 800,000 current DACA designees, but upwards of 1.8 million people. Yeah. And in return, he wants $25 billion for border security funding, the wall, and other measures, in addition to changing chain migration to be more merit-based, in addition to eliminating the diversity visa lottery, And this was summarily rejected out of hand by Democrats, which leads one to question whether or not either side really wants a deal on DACA, but particularly Schumer and the Democrats. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Did President Trump put forward a reasonable compromise on the issue?
Well, you know me and how I feel about dreamers, and I was pleasantly surprised when I heard President Trump say this.
Want citizenship for dreamers?
We're going to morph into it. It's going to happen at some point in the future.
Morph into it?
Over a period of 10 to 12 years, somebody does a great job. They've worked hard. It gives incentive to do a great job, but they've worked hard. They've done terrifically, whether they have a little company or whether they work or whatever they're doing. If they do a great job, I think it's a nice thing to have the incentive of, after a period of years, being able to become a citizen.
I agree wholeheartedly. I mean, a lot of these dreamers have homes, have mortgages, they went to college, they have jobs. They're, integral parts of the community.
And others do not. And the 1.8 million is a number. That's an issue. Mark Kekorian, who writes often on this topic, he's sort of a wonk on the immigration issue. He notes in National Review, it's the size of the amnesty rather than the universe of people who would be amnesty. That's the issue. He makes the point that if the amnesty were confined to those who now actually have DACA work permits, or even those who had them but didn't renew, administering amnesty would be straightforward. All those people already in the DHS database, and even if they were all re-examined as part of the amnesty process to weed out the fraudsters who snuck past Obama's DHS, it could still be done relatively quickly and with minimal disruption of the work Customs and Immigration Services otherwise does. But going beyond DACA beneficiaries to those who could have applied but didn't, this gets you to the 1.8 million, is a different thing. It's not just a difference in degree and kind. A whole new process would have to be set up for the 1 million additional people who would be expected to apply. The other work of Customs and Immigration would grind to a halt, delaying other legal immigration applications, as happened when DACA was originally implemented. In addition, there would be an opportunity cost with Customs and Immigration Services unable to pursue many urgently needed administrative reforms. He goes on to say, in addition to the functional issues, that's morally dubious. The reason the DACA beneficiaries have a compelling case for amnesty before all enforcement measures and in place, they have a compelling case for amnesty before all enforcement measures and in place and legal before all enforcement measures, legal immigration curbed, is not only that they did arrive here as minors, but they voluntarily came forward and provided their information to the government. That's the standing DACA beneficiaries have. Those who chose not to do so should not be granted the same extraordinary act of mercy. In other words, sorry about that, but in other words, he's saying the DACA beneficiaries currently, they came forward, they provided their information. We effectively know who they are and kind of how they're currently situated professionally and otherwise. But those who chose not to, now they get to come in with those who were more forthright. Right, so that's the morally dubious piece of it in addition to the administrative problem.
312-642-5600 is our turnkey.pro answer line.
Verlin on the south side.
Now, this is the common sense and reasoning that I referred to in the beginning of the week. Into the chain migration, into the lottery. Now, it's double the amount of people that I referred to, 800,000 to almost 2 million. But I got to say something to the people that called in after me earlier this week. You're not going to get everything you want. I heard one guy say you never be able to vote. Another guy said no amnesty, just a permanent residency. Listen, we all have to have common sense when it comes to this. Their parents, their brothers, their sisters, their mothers, no. But to these people, these young kids that did it the right way, go ahead and give them a pathway to citizenship. And let's get this out the way and get this wall built. He get that $25 billion, build the wall. They get a pathway to citizenship. Okay, we take in another $2 million, but we got to be fair about it.
There's also one other piece of this I should mention, Verlin. Get your reaction. E-Verify, which a lot of people have suggested be included, that's not included in the proposed deal. What about that?
I believe we should have we could fight for that. I mean, but that's a small tidbit that we can probably give up if we have to. But I would fight for it, yes. But if we had to give on that, I give on that to get everything that he just asked for, the 3-1. They get 1 and we get 3. I'll take that deal.
Well, let me ask you one more question. They rejected this deal as soon as it was proposed. Should the president give any more, or are these 3 last best final?
No, don't give
more.
any more.
Okay.
No.
All right. Thanks, Verlin. Appreciate it. Kent in Chicago.
Hey, good morning, guys. A couple of things. First of all, I think it's a brilliant Trumpian proposal. Trump asks for twice as much money as they probably need, offers twice as many, illegal immigrants. I'm a dreamer, by the way, Amy. I dream that I'm going to get double or triple my money back from the IRS. So
you really are a dreamer.
Yeah, think of me as a dreamer too, Amy. Hey, and the last thing I wanted to point out to you guys is, isn't it amazing how a year later, when Donald Trump is doing well again in Davos, that the New York Times dredges up old news about Mueller to try to blunt any positive effect that he has. They've done this all the time, and they are fake news due to stuff like that.
Yeah, thanks for the call.
President Trump did come out, and say this is fake news, folks. Don't buy into this.
Yeah, although it's funny.
The report is that last summer he tried to fire Bob Mueller.
Right, but when they overreach, they end up doing his bidding. So now, in advance of Trump potentially sitting down to be interviewed by Mueller, you've got this idea, well, Mueller's not going to treat me fairly because there's these reports that I moved to fire him. So now there's this kind of inherent conflict in our relationship as if it wasn't adversarial enough. I don't know. It just provides more fodder for skepticism. But I think Ken's point about Trump and this proposal, Trump, I suspect, knew it was DOA, but he looks eminently reasonable.
Yeah.
Doubling the number of that would be eligible, more than doubling it,
and asking for a lot more money. He wanted $18 billion. Now he's asking for $25 billion.
But that's sort of not material. The amount of money we're talking about for this in context of a $4 trillion budget is peanuts. So. Particularly,
Mexico is going to
particularly, they still can through NAFTA,
right?
And through NAFTA renegotiation. So I wouldn't be flippant about it. But the other thing about this is the first order responsibility of government, physical safety of constituents. So a small price to pay. But he knows they're not going to deal on diversity visa lottery. He knows they're not going to deal on chain migration, or they're certainly going to hold fast on those issues. And so now he can put this back on Schumer and tell the DACA recipients what Sarah Sanders said earlier this week. You got a problem. You should be running up to Capitol Hill and protesting Chuck Schumer like you are at his place in New York.
In Brooklyn.
Yeah.
He had a couple hundred DACA or Dreamers that protested outside his place.
I don't think Trump believed they were going to accept this proposal. And I think it positions him as eminently willing to compromise on the matter, and by I'll see your 800,000 and give you 1.8 million. It really puts Democrats in a bit of a trick bag. Bruno in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, unless you turn the magnet off, it's not going to work. So they have to have E-Verify, and they have to have some sort of limitation on benefits at public expense for immigrants. Unless you have that, it's going to be like the French trying to keep the Germans out with the Maginot Line at the beginning of World War II. The wall alone is not going to do it. You have to have defense in depth or internal enforcement, in other words.
Yeah, thanks for the call. I agree about the magnet, and I think the welfare state is the magnet that should be turned off, but I agree with that. That's an issue. Joe in McHenry.
Yeah, hello, Dad.
Hello.
Hey, turn your radio down.
Hold on.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Dad,
Hey.
I want to talk to you. Who is paying for all this free college for these DACA people?
Well, Joe, I'm glad you asked. In-state tuition here in Illinois. So that would be you subsidizing subsidizing that. You and me and everybody.
But how many dreamers are we paying for their colleges?
I don't know. I thought they
'Cause
were.
I thought they're adults now.
I thought they're all rocket scientists.
There's good ones and there's bad ones.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, I'm struggling to get my daughter to college, and she's stuck with a student loan over $50,000.
Yeah, but Joe, is your daughter an American citizen?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, well, we don't care about American citizens in this country. What are you talking about? Are you a family that played by the rules, paid your freight, paid your way, lived independently?
Yes.
Well, we don't care about you, Joe. Don't you understand the new
I
America?
I know. We don't care about. You know what? They don't care about nobody in this country. We're put on the side. Our kids are put on the side and forgot. But they bring these kids up, and they do everything. They do this, they do that. But there's, you know what, Dan? They don't deserve what they're getting.
Thanks for the call, Joe. Thanks for the call, Joe.
I'm sure some dreamers are paying off student loans too.
I'm sure. You want to be accommodating. You want to be empathetic. You want to be compassionate.
I am.
But I'll tell you what. When people just take and take and take and excoriate you while they do, that gets tiresome. That's why Trump's president of the United States. Is because the forgottens, the people who played by the rules to get scammed by a system they finance and from which they derive very little benefit, tired of it. Empathy for that family, for people like Joe and Woodstock and his daughter, is appropriate too, I would say. Casper in West Chicago.
Hi, good morning, Dan.
Morning.
Well, I think this deal is dead on arrival because I don't think it will pass the House. The House won't vote in this even because Paul Ryan won't put it there because he wants the majority of the Republicans to vote for that, and everybody knows the majority of the Republicans in the House won't vote for those things.
Well, I mean, let's not forget Paul Ryan is not a hardliner on this issue. He tried to negotiate a compromise deal with Louis Gutierrez of all people a few years back.
It could be. But another thing that I want to be clear about the immigration problem, I think it has been managed for both sides in a very, very distasteful way because they are using this just to steal their base and gain votes. And I think even if you change the rules about chain migration, you must be aware that most of these people have brothers and sons already born in this country. So when they reach 21 years, they will be citizens anyway. This is all just about to gain votes and steal the base, and it's about to hate air. That's what I think. It's a lot of wasted time. Thank you.
Thanks, Casper. Appreciate the call. Dan in Libertyville.
Hi. Appreciate the topic. I was talking about this with a friend just the other day, and I came to a realization what Trump is doing, in my opinion, is a modern-day Emancipation Proclamation. Of all these kids that got drugged here against their will or, didn't know what mom and dad were doing, and they're trapped here, not really wanting to be a citizen of Mexico, but they can't be a citizen of the United States. It's time to end their enslavement of what their parents have done to them, get the border secure, and start fresh. And when he does that, those kids are not going to forget which party actually stood up for them and freed them. Much the same as what happened with the slaves down south. The KKK was formed by the Democrats. But the Democrats through Johnson have won the blacks back to thinking they're their friends.
Yeah.
What Trump is doing, I don't mean to cut you off. What Trump is doing is he's freeing them from the bonds that they have so that they can do their best, bringing them out of the shadows and letting them be citizens. They're here already. We might as well resolve this problem once and for all and move on.
All right. Thanks for the call, Dan. We talked about this the other day, too. The 2 million that got amnesty under Reagan in '86, and I know one example is a good one in particular is a good friend of mine, and she still has fond feelings for Reagan. That's not the same thing as she's saying she always votes Republican. So there may be fond feelings for a particular Republican, But I don't know that it necessarily folds them all into the party if you're just looking at it through the political lens.
You're listening to Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Thanks to you, Ace was awarded its 11th straight J.D. Power Award for customer satisfaction with home improvement retail stores. To say thanks, we're giving you 20% off throughout the store. And as always, the help is free. So hurry into your local Ace and save 20% on select items this Friday through Sunday only. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only at participating stores. Additional conditions and exclusions apply. See store for details. For J.D. Power Award information, visit jdpower.com.
You're up before dark 30. You don't ask for medals or even a pat on the back. But if all your hard work is indeed its own reward, then consider the new Ram Limited Tungsten Edition as a bonus. Natura Plus leather seating, premium projector headlamps, suede headliner, packaged in the highly capable, hard-working truck you'd expect from Ram. Keep doing what you do, but who says you can't do it in a nicer truck? The new Ram Limited Tungsten, the most luxurious Ram truck ever. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, your dental health. Hi, it's Mike Gallagher. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants. Get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Look, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants. And that's why you need to see Dr. Norouzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Norouzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants brings.
This is Dr. Norouzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics, 630-232-7400, 630-232-7400, or just remember, implantsforme.com, implantsforme.com.
Mike Gallagher breaks down a huge win for the president.
What I would say is, this is what leadership looks like. What I would say is, yep, we still got a long way to go. The government is reopened because the president didn't blink. You know what was different? It was in the messaging. You know who delivers a message like a bolt of lightning? Yeah, that guy that lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue these days.
The Mike Gallagher Show. Weekdays at 9, right before Dennis Prager at 11 on AM 560. The Answer.
It is 5:57 this Friday morning. Let's get an update on the roads. In the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center, here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Kennedy Expressway in bad. A little heavy out of the River Road toll to Cumberland. It's 21 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. Up on fine at 20. The Edens is clear at the moment. Down Eisenhower. Slow First Avenue to Harlem. 31 minutes, 390 to downtown. Outbound fine at 29. Down Stevenson delays start at Lamont Road. It's 40 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound fine at 34. Ryan, 22 minutes, 95 to downtown. Bishopford, 20 minutes, 80-94 to the Verge. The northbound Tri-State is now stop and go from Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. Traffic, service of Pringles. You stack up different flavors of Pringles, create amazing new flavors. Stack up cheddar cheese, jalapeno, and French onion dip Pringles. You've got yourself the 3-layer dip stack, which makes you a genius. Stack different flavors, create endless new ones with Pringles. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. On AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues after a full update from Fox News and your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Clouds increase, winds gust past 40 miles per hour today, high 53. Mostly cloudy, breezy night, gusts up to 30 miles per hour, low 41. Breezy in the morning tomorrow, otherwise partly sunny, high 46. And a mainly clear night, low 29. Partly sunny Sunday, high 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Currently 40 at O'Hare. The news service of Accountemps. Finding highly skilled accounting and finance pros can be a challenge. Accountemps can help. With Accountemps' extensive network of accounting and finance contractors, you can be sure to find the right person for your exact hiring needs. Visit Accountemps.com to learn more. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 5:59, here are the stories we're following on AM 560, The Answer. Chicago police are searching this morning for a missing 12-year-old girl. Abigail Hall disappeared after leaving her home on Wednesday. A so-called serial stowaway is now banned from Chicago airports. Marilyn Hartman was arrested last week. A Cook County judge ordered her release yesterday, but warned her to stay away from O'Hare and Midway. A group of University of Chicago students demanding school administrators rescind an invitation to Steve Bannon to speak at the school. One man is dead following a single vehicle crash in Aurora overnight. Another man is in custody following a SWAT standoff near UIC on West Taylor. Sold Out Sox Fest kicks off tonight. Blackhawks over the Red Wings 5-1, and the Bulls and Lakers meet later tonight at the UC. More Dan and Amy after Fox. WIND Chicago News Time, 6 o'clock.
He calls it a fake story. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump dismissive of reports he wanted to dismiss the special counsel in the Russia probe he's called a witch hunt. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, reporters shouted questions at the president about a report that he ordered the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller last June.
Why did you fire Robert Mueller? You want to fire Robert Mueller?
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
President Trump reportedly relented when the White House counsel said the move would be catastrophic and threatened to quit. The White House has repeatedly denied that the president had considered getting rid of the special counsel in order to stop the Russia probe. Dave?
Rachel in Davos, Switzerland. The president keeps talking up the U.S. economy and surging stock market.
We've cut regulations. We've passed a tax bill, the likes of which our country has never seen.
Fox's Simon Owen live in our European bureau.
Dave, President Trump is due to address delegates at the World Economic Forum shortly.
It's a very positive message. The United States is doing fantastically well.
A senior Trump administration official says his speech will also cover the theft of intellectual property and other abuses. Earlier today, the president meeting one-on-one with the president of Rwanda. He said he sends warm regards to African leaders. Neither president commenting on reports President Trump recently described African nations as S-hole countries. Dave?
Simon, the White House is offering up an immigration compromise that would allow up to 1.8 million dreamers a path to citizenship, protecting immigrants brought to the U.S. illegally as kids. As part of the deal, Congress would have to provide $25 billion border wall funding. A disaster in a hospital in South Korea. A fire broke out and spread so quickly, 37 people were killed.
It happened so suddenly. There were limitations to our rescue effort.
Son Kyung-chul heads a foundation that runs the facility that had no sprinkler system. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
On Tuesday, January 30th, President Donald Trump will deliver his first State of the Union address to Congress, to the country, and to the world. And AM 560, The Answer, is throwing a party, and you're invited. It's a taste of freedom, a State of the Union viewing party, presented by HealthInsuranceMentors.com at Avante Banquets in Fox River Grove. Enjoy a 3-course meal as you watch the president's speech. Tickets start at just $56 and are on sale now at 560theanswer.com/taste. Sponsored in part by Northridge Preparatory School.
You have to check blind spots to drive safely, right? Same thing goes for identity theft protection. If you just monitor your credit, you might miss something, like your info for sale on the dark web. LifeLock detects a wider range of identity threats to help protect your identity. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock offers visibility you might not get on your own. Membership starts at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS to save 10%.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com. delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
Famous conservative quotes, presented by Automated Systems.
Founding father and Bill of Rights signer George Mason stated, "To disarm the people is the best and most effectual way to enslave them." All Second Amendment supporters would strongly agree.
It's important we support companies that share our conservative values. If you are a manufacturer, I encourage you to call my friend Laz Kulchar from Automated Systems. As a software and systems integration company, Automated Systems creates custom solutions to make your production lines, facilities, and plants run more efficiently. Imagine less downtime, more speed, and fewer rejects. It doesn't matter if you're a Fortune 500 or a startup, Automated Systems delivers solutions for your toughest automation challenges. For information, I encourage you, man, to talk to Laz at Automated Systems. Call 844-HIRE-ASI or visit AutomatedSYS.com. That's 844-HIRE-ASI.
Join Breakpoint commentator John Stonestreet for the Illinois Family Institute Worldview Conference, Saturday, February 10th at Medina Baptist Church, Medina, Illinois.
We have to figure out how to live in our cultural moment. We have to figure out how to live in a time where there seems to be increasing pressure on Christian belief and on Christian conviction and on being a Christian in public.
The Illinois Family Institute Worldview Conference, responding to the issues of our day from a biblical perspective with John Stonestreet.
God determines the time and the place in which we live. It is no accident, Christian, that you find yourself in this time and in this culture.
The IFI Worldview Conference, February 10th at Medina Baptist Church. $20 per person, $50 per family, but seating is limited. So register now at IllinoisFamily.org or call 708-781-9328. That's IllinoisFamily.org or 708-781-9328.
Hey guys, Ken here from the award-winning podcast Today's Growth. If you had to choose sides, which camp would you rather be in? Would you rather have time and no money, or money and no time? Did you know that 95% of U.S. adults by choice have settled into these categories? Much more interesting is that 1 out of 20 people have built their life around achieving simultaneous control of both time and money. What choices did these 5% make that the others didn't? My friends at Income Store have shown both households and businesses how to build second, third, and even fourth revenue streams for the express purpose of gaining control of time. When it comes to helping folks create their next revenue model, both Forbes and Inc. recommend Income Store as a can't miss. Could your household or business use an additional revenue model that doesn't solely depend on you? If so, you need to check out IncomeStore.com. That's IncomeStore.com.
Go to IncomeStore.com today. That's IncomeStore.com.
As a parent, you want what's best for your children. That means sending them to a school where they'll get the superior education they deserve, and that also shares your values. That can be tricky these days, as public schools have changed and private schools can be expensive. Your household budget has already been cut to the bone, and it's hard to imagine where you'll find that extra money. Well, there's help to lessen that financial burden and provide your child with the very best education at half the cost. At AM 560 The Answer, we work with private schools throughout the Chicagoland area to provide tuition for families at half the normal cost. Just log on to halfpriceschools.com and you'll find some of Chicagoland's finest private schools, from preschool all the way through high school, at half the cost. And chances are there's a school right in your neighborhood. Invest in your child's education and future at halfpriceschools.com. A limited number of half-price vouchers are available. Go to halfpriceschools.com now.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Turnkey IT, giving you the freedom to focus on your business while they handle the technical stuff. Turnkey IT.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560. The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. So, New York Times breathlessly reporting yesterday that Trump ordered Special Prosecutor Bob Mueller fired back in June of last year but then backed off when White House counsel Don McGahn threatened to quit if he moved forward, believing that it would have been catastrophic to Trump's presidency at the time. Should he have fired Mueller then? Should he fire him now? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. You know, my a friend of the show, Aaron Blake, who was a reporter for the Washington Post, he tweeted out yesterday, list of top law enforcement officials Trump has fired, consider firing, or clearly wanted out. Comey, Mueller, Sessions, Yates, McCabe, Rosenstein, Bahara. Yeah, okay. But, you know, because Trump wants them out, that is not a substantive argument on the merits that they should stay. In other words, could you not make a compelling case for terminating all of those individuals listed who have not yet been terminated?
Right.
In addition to the ones that were.
And also, too, how many times has the New York Times and others gotten it wrong? I mean, President Trump in Switzerland came out saying, fake news, everybody. Don't believe it.
Or more leaks from the special prosecutor's office. How about that?
That's true.
Let's say it's right. So where are they getting the information? It's coming from ostensibly from interviews Mueller has done with individuals in the administration that are now somehow getting their way to the pages of the New York Times. Isn't that interesting?
Twitter is going crazy. I mean, Cheeto Jesus knows he's doomed, and I mean, it's like they're celebrating this. Like this is it. This is going to be the nail in the coffin.
It also runs interference for the news, the big news yesterday before this New York Times story late in the day. Hey, the FBI can found the text messages.
Hey.
Found the Strzok Page text messages.
Where were they, Dan?
I think they were
50,000 plus. Where were they?
I think they were in Sandy Berger's roll top desk next to those classified docs he stole from the National Archives back during the Clinton administration. So good news is they weren't wiped clean, you know, like with a cloth or something.
You mean like with a cloth?
Yeah, exactly.
I wish I did that.
Great Hillary Clinton impersonation.
Thank you very much.
Among the text message exchanges.
Oh, what do we have?
We got a pulling of punches text message. This good stuff. Now, this is in a letter that Chuck Grassley from Iowa directed to FBI Director Christopher Wray, drawing attention to a February 25th, 2016 text message between Strzok and Page, in which it goes like this. One more thing, she might be our next president, talking about Hillary. The last thing you need us going in there loaded for bear. You think she's going to remember or care that it was more DOJ than FBI? That's from Lisa Page. Strzok said he agreed with the assessment. I called Bill and relayed what we discussed. He agrees. I will email you and a redacted name, same. Bill is likely Bill Priestap, who is the FBI's chief of counterintelligence. So this is in the context of essentially suggesting not to take an aggressive approach to Hillary Clinton because of the possibility she would be elected president, pulling punches. So the New York Times and the associated big government flacks and the media are running to cover for the FBI, for DOJ, and to run interference on the text messages as well as the Nunes memo.
And then I heard yesterday, too, that there might be obstruction of justice because he asked Andrew McCabe who he voted for. Isn't that just bad manners rather than... And I don't understand how that would be an obstruction charge.
Yeah.
Because it's not, right? So CNN is wrong again?
Well, I don't know. The basis for that would be what?
That's right.
The basis for an obstruction charge based on allegedly asking him who he voted for?
Because he was, prior to that, when he allegedly asked that question, he was talking about his wife's failed Senate seat run in Virginia.
Yes.
And talking, and then he said, so who'd you vote for? He kind of morphed into that, but the mainstream media is not telling you that part of the story.
And on the Nunes memo, since they're in full damage control and prevention mode, they don't want the Nunes memo made public, do these law enforcement agencies and obviously the Democrats, two good pieces. Cheryl Atkinson in The Hill, and as per usual, Kim Strassel in Wall Street Journal. Strassel's piece, Operation Sabotage the Memo. And she uses Adam Schiff, who's the Democrat representing Area 51, as kind of a gauge on how concerned Democrats are by what's happening with respect to the House Intelligence Committee activities and these investigations generally. Wednesday, Justice Department letter to Mr. Nunes, written by Assistant Attorney General Stephen Boyd, designed as a memo to the media, copied to its allies, FBI's allies in Washington, immediately leaked to the public. Mr. Boyd gets in his cheap shots, for instance, slamming Mr. Nunes for moving to release a memo based on documents that Mr. Nunes hasn't even seen. Strassel writes, he, meaning Boyd, apparently thinks Trey Gowdy, the experienced former federal prosecutor Mr. Nunes has asked to conduct a review of those documents, isn't qualified to judge questions of national security. The bigger, swampier game here is to rally media pressure and to mau Mr. Nunes into giving the department a veto over the memo's relief, the department being the department being the FBI. The Boyd letter is also a first step toward a bigger prize, President Trump. Under House rules, a majority of the Intel Committee can vote to declassify the memo. Trump then has up to 5 days to object to its release. If he doesn't object, the memo goes public. If he does, a majority of the House would have to override him. In coming days, the Justice Department protectors will gin up a separate, desperate claim that Mr. Trump will somehow be interfering in Special Counsel Robert Mueller's probe unless he objects to the release of the Nunes memo. And talks about the slippery shadow in all this is Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. By the way, there's a report that Nunes memo, which hasn't been made public yet, specifically names McCabe, Rosenstein, and James Comey as abusers of the surveillance program during the Obama administration. So you've got the Nunes memo that everybody in Congress has seen that they want to move to make public. They're trying to run interference on that, including the FBI, Trump's own FBI, Trump's own Department of Justice. Now, I know they're not supposed to just simply take marching orders from the president, but every time they're trying to cover their behinds, the ready-made cover story is, if you don't go along with our recommendation, then you're interfering with us with Bob Mueller's investigation. And that just doesn't hold water. That in and of itself shouldn't be enough. So you've got that. You've got these FBI text messages between Strzok and Page involving other senior leadership in terms of some level of knowledge about what these two were doing and what they weren't doing, and obviously the roles they were playing. These are senior level people, Strzok and Page. And the big story that everybody's talking about, as you said, is that Trump wanted to fire Mueller back in June. Greg in Schaumburg, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, Dan and Amy. To answer your question that you started the segment off, Dan, should he be fired? The answer is no. This is going to be Leakville galore, as it is in direct proportion to what Sean Hannity and the Fox people are putting out on a verified basis. But what Trump needs to do, even in spite of the fact that he could fire Mueller, and that would substantiate the legitimacy of presidential power, Trump needs to really contain unforced errors, and that is making statements that he's willing to go up and testify under oath. And then last but not least is that for those of us ancient people that were around in Watergate, this is a whole play for public opinion.
Yes.
Because as you know, the Watergate hearings showed that effectively impeachment becomes the pressure of the public. And I think President Trump really needs to pay heed to that, because, you know, there's a certain point when that 5 to 6% with Republicans that are shaky will cave. And I don't want that to happen. That's all I got.
That's good. Thanks for the call, Greg. I totally agree. That should not be lost. This is a PR battle, and the FBI and DOJ, they are PR savvy, just like any political office. Number two, to reiterate the point Andy McCarthy's been making since the outset, the special investigation, Bob Mueller, it has always been about impeachment. It has always been about impeachment, and impeachment is fundamentally a political process, and that should not be lost. One other thing that shouldn't be lost. Bob Mueller, former FBI director, he's going to protect the shield of his agency. I think you have to assume that going in. Bob Mueller, this renowned prosecutor, former FBI director, do you think he wants to walk away from this, having done all of this work?
For nothing.
And they have very little. Should they have Papadopoulos pleading out to lying to the FBI under oath? That's their big get. Prosecutors want big gets. Prosecutors want scalps. So the idea that, well, okay, he's a professional and he'll go where the facts lead and so on and so forth, but in the back of his mind, they're big game hunting.
That's why I don't want President Trump to sit down with them under oath and be interviewed. Because what if he makes a mistake or doesn't recall something properly? Then they'll get him on, perjury.
It could be a
And if they're hell bent on getting, some kind of charges or impeachment against them, they'll ask I gotcha questions. They know what they're doing.
It absolutely could be a perjury trap.
Yep.
Steve and Gary.
Yeah. Dan and Amy, you guys are great.
Thank you.
Well, at least you're great, Dan.
Well.
Wow.
Amy's kind of
Well, hey, maybe I feel the same way about you.
Wow.
I kind of like you calling in.
Wait. Don't. Cheryl Atkinson is great. She's a good scandal girl, unlike Amy. But anyways.
Okay.
Steve, did we go to prom together in the 80s?
Yeah.
Listen.
Because I didn't kiss you, right?
Or maybe he rejected his invitation.
Yeah.
No, I'm a scando myself, so I can judge.
No, okay, all right.
Anyways, listen, it was too easy with these emails. I would be suspicious of these. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Wait,
it's like,
the
here they are, right here.
The text messages, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. I'm sorry. I'm not tech savvy, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, you got time.
gotta
It's
cut me
only been
some
around
slack.
for 20 years. Yeah. No, you mean it's convenient that they were finally unearthed and maybe that they were there was some review before the release?
Maybe they're not, kosher. They're kind of phony. You know what I mean? Oh, we didn't find anything in here.
Yeah.
So it's you better be Well, I'm suspicious of everything.
Well,
nowadays.
yeah. Thanks for the call, Steve. I am as well.
Steve doesn't like me.
Healthy. No, he didn't.
It's all right.
He's sort of ambivalent about you. Yeah,
says,
like that. Yeah. But it's just one person's opinion. Look, Amy, in life, some people are cheer, some people boo. It's just what it is. You gotta.
Some parents write you emails.
You just take it in stride. I don't have anybody.
coaching.
I don't have anybody cheer me. So I know it's sad. Kevin in Northfield, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, guys. I don't understand why, since it is a PR battle, Trump isn't every day tweeting the amount of money that Mueller has gone through, a running total of the day and a running total here today, the way they do with the federal deficit. That's the story. We hired Trump because he's a businessman, and we hope he's going to be a little bit frugal with the taxpayers' money. It's Mueller who's blowing the money. What are we getting for this money? I'd like to see Trump tweeting about this vast expenditure and what else could be done with this money.
All right. Thanks,
what do you think, Dan?
Thanks, Kevin. Well, I mean, the problem is, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, again, context matters. $5 million, 10 million, 15, 20 million bucks, $4 trillion deficit, annual budget. We're talking about, pennies, fractions of pennies. I'm not saying you should be cavalier about it, but I just don't think that's going to kind of inflame the passions of the public that we're spending a few million bucks on a special prosecutor, because you have half the public that's in the tank for the special prosecutor and wants him to find a way to take Trump down.
This is the morning show more Chicago radio listeners are choosing. This is Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
It could be the funniest kicker ever. A porn star can't go to the porn awards because of something crazy. But first, here's your forecast. It's going to be beautiful out there today. I mean, really, just you don't even need a winter coat. 42 degrees right now, going up to a high of 53. Hello, it will be windy, but we'll have some clouds and sun. Weekend looks like this. Saturday, breezy in the morning, otherwise partly sunny, mild, a high of 46. And on Sunday, a little bit back to reality, partly sunny skies, a high of 35 degrees. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Telemonte.
Thank you, Amy. Thanks, Dan. Good morning. Mundelein. Expect some congestion around 83 in Town Line. 60 there in Mundelein. Signals are flashing red. Eden's inbound. You've got a 2-minute delay now. Cicero to the junction. Clear outbound. Kennedy, 24 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. Outbound still fine at 20. Got Eisenhower tight. 25th to Harlem. 33 minutes. 390 to the Circle. Outbound 30. Inbound Stevenson. Delays 3:55 before Cass. The reported crash. Then it's the Harlem Kids. 45 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive. Outbound delay free. Ryan is 24 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop 4, 22 minutes, 80-94 to the merge. Northbound Tri-State heavy. The Reagan Tollway to the Eisenhower. The other tollways are fine. Northwest Indiana, wide open. Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because my wife has been taking mine because she sees the difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Ever since I was little, I imagined owning a bakery. With hard work, I made it happen. But after this weekend's robbery, I realized that I need to protect my dream with security.
I've got a great answer for you. Alarm Detection Systems, your local family-owned business, understands the threats you might face. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300 and find out how we can protect you. License number 127000143.
I'm worried that my employees are costing me a fortune every month in damaged or missing inventory. I'm not sure how to solve this problem or who to turn to.
Alarm Detection Systems installs video cameras that watch over your place of business, reduce loss, and increase profits with advanced security. Visit adsalarm.com or call 630-844-6300. That's adsalarm.com or 630-844-6300. Alarm license number 127000143.
Nobody should have to live with depression. Not anymore.
It's a new year. Time for a new you.
Abilify, Wellbutrin, Seroquel, Rexulti. These are common drugs prescribed for depression. You may be able to get off the drugs and the endless counseling. You've heard about the revolutionary TMS therapy.
Now it's time to get a free consultation from HPR Centers.
And your frustration with life and relationships. In a few short weeks, your life will change. It's FDA cleared, safe, and it's covered by most insurance, including Blue Cross Blue Shield and Medicare. TMS therapy treats the cause of your depression. Millions have been treated. The results, nothing short of outstanding. HPR Centers are proud to bring TMS therapy to Chicagoland and Milwaukee.
You need to take the first step. Call.
The war on depression is over.
You win.
HPR Centers.
800-604-0208. 800-604-0208.
Go to endmydepression.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hi, this is Karen Feldman, candidate in the 59th House District. I'm running for state representative because I will work to create an ethical environment in Illinois government, which means supporting term limits and ending career politicians. I will push for fair and independent redistricting reform, stop family burdening Madigan tax hikes, and demand property tax relief for all.
Let's get Illinois back into shape. A vote for Karen Feldman is a vote for Illinois. Paid for by the Friends of Karen Feldman.
Hey, Craig and Leslie here from In the Know. Leslie, I like to think that we're always finishing the drive to the end zone and not just blocking and tackling for our clients. We want them to be ready for the big game, their retirement.
That's right, Craig. That's why our whole team at Wealth Management Group has their game face on and is ready for 2018.
Make a tactical maneuver to make Wealth Management Group part of your financial force.
Pick Wealth Management Group as your offensive line. Visit us at investwithwmg.com and listen to In the Know Sunday mornings at 10 right here on AM 560, The Answer.
AM 560, The Answer.
Text from 708 about that Nunez memo. Rumor is Trump's going to read it at the State of the Union address. Well, that'd be fun. That'd be something.
That'd be great.
This story about Erykah Badu, Amy.
Why do I not? I mean, I know who she is now, but
This is Sade because Erykah Badu is a poor woman Sade.
Okay.
And I don't want to listen to Badu. I want to listen to Sade.
Badu.
Yeah. I mean, I just kind of lose myself when Sade's singing. Badu gave an interview to Vulture, covering a number of topics. She was asked about her alleged anti-Semitism that followed the accusations that followed her, where she was sort of collaborating with Nation of Islam leader Louis Farrakhan. She responded, "I'm not an anti-Semitic person. I didn't even know what anti-Semitic was before I was called it. I'm a humanist. I see good in everybody. I saw something good in Hitler."
Oh, come on. What did she see? What's the attribute of Hitler that she likes?
Hitler was a wonderful painter. See, that's her, not me. That's her saying it. Everybody focuses on the bad. What about Hitler's art? And doesn't she make a great point? No, she doesn't, because he was a terrible painter. And then she gets pushback from the interviewer. Okay, he was a terrible painter, poor thing. He had a terrible childhood. That means that when I'm looking at my daughter, Mars, I could imagine her being in someone else's home and being treated so poorly and what that could spawn. The Fourth Reich, apparently, Erykah Badu thinks. I see things like that. I guess it's just the Pisces in me.
She missed out on history class in school. Does she have any idea? What that monster did?
She also expressed her love for Bill Cosby.
No, she did not.
Praised, quote, what he's done for the world, unquote, before dismissing the sexual assault allegations against him because he might simply be, quote, sick. The people who got hurt, I feel so bad for them. I want them to feel better, too. But sick people do evil things, hurt people. I know I could be crucified for saying that because I'm supposed to be on the purple team or the green team. I don't know what that means. I'm not trying to rebel against what everybody's saying, but maybe I want to measure it. Somebody will call me and ask me to come to a march because such and such got shot. In that situation, I want to know what really happened. These are the intellectual leaders of our generation. That's just why you should always pay attention to what celebrities say, because if they have talent in one space, they know everything about everything. Like Erykah Badu.
Tell me she's single.
Well, I don't know. I don't know who the father is of Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good in Hitler. Not everybody sees it. Badu does.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
We'll do our Campus Beat segment. We got a couple of doozies to end the week at 6:36.
And some local ones, too. And later, is it the government's call to make? Trying to ban kids 12 and under from playing football. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
38 degrees. Fire authorities are revising the death toll from a major hospital fire in South Korea to 37. The National Fire Agency earlier had said 39 were killed in the fire at the Sejong Hospital. It says in a statement that a misstep happened because of duplicated counting of 2 of the dead. Again, 37 dead, 130 injured in that hospital fire. President Trump dismissing a report that he ordered special counsel Robert Mueller to be fired last June.
You speak to fire Mueller.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
The New York Times reported Thursday that Trump wanted Mueller fired but backed down. Senator Ron Johnson walking back statements over a secret society.
After reading those transcripts of the text messages, do you think it was made as a joke?
It's entirely possible.
Earlier this week, the Wisconsin Republican had said the texts point to a possible corruption at the top levels of the FBI. 2 FBI agents were texting, having an affair. Other texts between the two were critical of Donald Trump when he was a presidential candidate. The Senate Judiciary Committee planning to release a transcript from a closed-door interview with Donald Trump Jr. Committee Chairman Chuck Grassley says he agreed with Democrats on the committee the interview should be made public. Michigan State University has until February 9 to turn over information on former Dr. Larry Nassar to the State House. Representatives launching a state investigation regarding sexual assault claims made to the school against the former Michigan State and USA Gymnastics doctor. A recall underway for 7 brands of frozen green beans and mixed vegetables that may be contaminated with Listeria. The National Frozen Foods recall notice says those veggies were distributed to 21 states. Chicago police are searching for a missing 12-year-old girl this morning. Reported missing on the north side, Abigail Hall disappeared after leaving her home Wednesday. The so-called serial stowaway is now banned from Chicago airports. Marilyn Hartman was arrested last week after the suburban woman snuck past security at O'Hare and flew to London without a ticket. The Indiana House has passed a resolution calling for a study of the benefits of medical marijuana. The resolution, approved Thursday with no opposition, comes as 29 other states have passed laws allowing medical marijuana in some form. The sold-out Sox Fest begins tonight. Alex DeBrincat, a hat trick in a Blackhawk win over the Red Wings, 5-1, heading into the All-Star break. Bulls and Lakers meet later on tonight. The news service of Ace. Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks. Your neighborhood Ace has a wide selection of products from the best brands, including Valspar, Craftsman, Scotts, Toro, Weber, Traeger, and Yeti, plus the expertise you need to take on any project with confidence. Only at Ace, the helpful place. 6:35, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains how far left the Democrats have gone.
There's one line there that really got me. The free market is not the solution to poverty. And everybody said, oh, that's the Communist Party, that's the Communist Manifesto. And it was the Democratic Party manifesto. We just don't realize how far left this group has gone.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
6:37, and a check of the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Eden's inbound at Slow Pratt to the junction. 24 minutes is the travel time. Lake Cook to Montrose. Southbound 19. Kennedy running 30 minutes. O'Hare to downtown. 13 from Montrose. 11 on the Express. Outbound 23 minutes to the airport. Ron Eisenhower 38 minutes. 390 to downtown. Outbound 32. Inbound Stevenson. A crash before Cass is off the left side. Looking at 50 minutes, 3:55 to Lakeshore Drive, 34 from the Tri-State. Outbound, it's okay. Ryan, 25 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford, 22 minutes, 80-94 at the merge. Northbound Tri-States, though, from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are fine. And traffic, service of Walgreens. Looking to save money on your Medicare Part D prescriptions? As a preferred pharmacy, Walgreens offers copays as long as $0 on Tier 1 generics on select plans. Switch your prescriptions and start saving today. Walgreens, trusted since 1901. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Very strong winds with increasing clouds throughout the day. A milder afternoon ahead, high 53, a low of 41 overnight, and a breezy day tomorrow. Otherwise, partly sunny and mild, high 46. Currently, we have 38 at O'Hare. Next news coming up at 7, and Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Mortgage Makeovers, a show walking you through stress-free mortgage options. Mortgage Makeovers, Sunday afternoons at 1 on AM 560, The Answer.
They got the beat, the campus beat, the campus beat. Yeah, the campus beat.
All right, time for our recurring campus beat segment. We've got some good ones here. Oh, boy.
Oh, do you want to start at home?
You take out your lists, everybody, if you've got a kid in college or thinking about college or going to, planning to go to college, because this will help you narrow his or her choices, I think. I hope. We'll get to University of Chicago. Let's start here. University of Florida. University of Florida students, Gators.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Uh-huh.
I'm familiar with their work, Dan.
Yeah.
They're a juggernaut in the SEC.
Yeah.
SEC.
They gave us Danny Werfel, for example.
Okay, whoever.
University of Florida students walked around campus this week with fake menstrual blood on their pants.
Oh, God, come
on. To wait for the importance of it. To protest the lack of complimentary feminine hygiene products on campus.
To protest the lack of it?
The lack of. Yeah. They want free feminine hygiene products.
Oh.
Yeah. They want a mandatory fee paid by all students that would fund a fee to fund the free hygiene products was rejected by the student government, and the delicate little flowers didn't like that. Today I held a little protest for free menstrual products, and I say menstrual, not feminine, because menstruation shouldn't be gendered. Some men get periods.
I believe that to be true.
Reproductive justice. I'm not ashamed of my period, and I don't think anyone else should be.
I mean, you may feel crampy once a month, but you actually do not bleed.
Thank you, and thank you for being so understanding and warmly receiving me when I'm menstruating. Okay, that's University of Florida. Now your turn.
Well, thanks, Dan. An abrupt protest broke out yesterday, last minute thing, because word spread quickly that, are you ready? Former White House chief strategist Steve Bannon has accepted an invitation to speak at University of Chicago. This professor, Luigi Zingales, he's a business professor.
Yeah, we had him on the show 2 days ago.
Yeah, we did.
Right.
I know, but he's very provocative, Luigi. Because he is having a discussion and a debate about economic benefits of globalization and immigration. And he thought, you know what? Let's get into the mind of Steve Bannon and let's have a debate.
Yeah.
And he invited him. Steve Bannon accepted. And the kiddies went crazy. They were chanting all sorts of stuff.
No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA. No Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
That's when they sound like their hearts in
No
it.
Trump, no KKK, no fascist USA.
They're not in sync. That's funny that you should mention that. I noticed that. And then later they were chanting Black Lives Matter. People from the neighborhood who are concerned join the students outside the business school. They're also chanting no hate, no fear, we don't want Nazis here, blah blah blah.
We do not want white supremacists to be coming to our campus and propagating their hateful views. They're just, quite frankly, discriminatory and hateful.
Yeah, discriminatory and hateful.
Yeah.
No, Steve Bannon, I'm not a big fan of Steve Bannon's, but I would actually want to watch him speak at University of Chicago.
That'd be an interesting conversation
Yeah.
with Zingales, who is a
Luigi.
who, despite your cartoonish references to him, is actually quite the dizzying intellect and interesting thinker.
He is.
And we had a good conversation about Google and Facebook and whether or not they constitute monopolies earlier in the week. But yeah, it's boy, we don't want Nazis on our campus, and we don't want to hear debate. Maybe you might consider, if you don't think Luigi Zingales is a white supremacist. Here's just something. I mean, the University of Chicago, the Maroons, the Jay Berwangers. I mean, these are brilliant students, of course. Okay. But here's something to consider. Can I throw this out there?
Yes, you can. Only if you talk like this.
If Luigi Zingales is not a white supremacist, if you don't think he's a Nazi, and if you consider that he has otherwise good judgment and produces good discussions, maybe you should give Luigi Zingales the benefit of the doubt that his invitation to Steve Bannon, it may be meant to gain some attention for his podcast and his work. Okay, fine. But is also he's doing so. He made the invitation because he believes that it would be an interesting conversation for people to hear with two people who have some divergent views on those global economic issues.
Well, he said Bannon seems to have understood something about America that he's curious to learn about.
Right. So it's fascinating. So Luigi Zingales is a great intellect and a great economist because he's intellectually curious, even though he knows more about these issues and probably everything else than the combination of all the protesters you just heard from. But he's still kind of always trying to get a handle on things, always trying to learn, asking questions, thinking about things. Maybe, forget Steve Bannon, maybe Luigi Zingales is the person that should be under consideration by these students. These students should be challenged to consider his perspective and his approach in an academic setting and reflect upon that versus their own approach. Wouldn't that be interesting? Not that they will, but it would be interesting. All right, Fordham University law professor. Writing in the Georgetown Law Journal, which I know you read religiously, Amy.
Yes, I want the copy back on my desk immediately.
She is Fordham law professor Kamani Paul Emily. The piece that she's written, Blackness as Disability. Understanding blackness as disabling brings to the fore a surprising new approach to addressing discrimination and systemic equality that has been hiding in plain sight. Disability law. African Americans should turn to disability law to combat the effects of racism, she says. If you're black, you're disabled. Is there anything more racist than this argument? No. She is an African American professor at Fordham, law professor. She writes in part, race law has been relatively effective at countering intentional discrimination. However, it has failed to combat the predominant forms of discrimination that now harm minority populations, unconscious bias, stereotyping, structural inequality. And thus, disability law is a better option for dealing with such effects. It doesn't focus on malicious intent. Disability law accepts the impact of even neutral actions. So this is a better way to have catch-all remedies for perceived unconscious bias, stereotyping, structural inequality, whether you, and there's no need to prove malicious intent. It's all kind of eye of the beholder, if you will. So being black, to be black is to be disabled. You should be treated as a disabled person and provided all of the equitable remedies that are available to disabled people. You get that?
Yeah, I got it.
What do you think?
I think she's crazy.
Okay.
I think she's perpetuating hate
I
in
mean-
our society, and I think that I don't want to ever hear from her again.
You talk about the soft bigotry of
I
low
mean,
expectations.
really.
This takes the soft bigotry of low expectations to new lows, doesn't it? 312-642-5600 turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA turnkey.pro text line. Yeah. It's just rather remarkable. And on the other side of it, you have Bob Woodson, who we've had on the show as well, civil rights movement participant, ally of Martin Luther King's, been through a few things. And he writes in The Hill, recognizing and addressing moral treason and the exploitation of black youth. When the army of social justice warriors hears about a racist flyer being distributed on campus or a noose that was found in a bathroom on campus, it becomes a lead story on the news. Media call to arms, marches organized, pledges made to institute more race sensitivity training, cultural awareness workshops. Minority-owned consulting firms specialize and offer such training, see their profits soar. These are the ugly signs of hatred, but we should consider to what extent they affect the most critical issues facing this country and the conditions of low-income blacks in particular. Unfortunately, unless evil wears a white face, it will avoid detection and be allowed to pursue its path of destruction and devastating consequences for those most in need of help. And he talks about the academic scams that have gone on where, for example, graduation ceremony at D.C.'s Ballo High School, 50% of the students receiving diplomas had missed more than 3 months of school. 1 in 5 had been absent more than they were present. Although 2 months prior to graduation, only 57 students were on track to graduate, 164 received diplomas. There was another case at Duval High School in Prince George's County. He references the academic scandal in Atlanta in 2015, the largest school cheating scandal in the nation's history. 11 educators convicted of altering students' answers on standardized tests to inflate grades. This is the soft bigotry of low expectations that this Fordham law professor, as I said, takes to new lows. And Bob Woodson suggests that may take a different look at who's on which side of the divide when it comes to minority empowerment and enfranchisement in this country in 2018.
It's what Chicago is talking about. It's Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy on AM 560. The Answer.
I'm Lou Dobbs. President Trump unveiling his major infrastructure plan. Rubbermaid may be for sale. Colleges refusing anti-smoking grants from the tobacco industry. Those stories next.
Thinking about life insurance? What if you could make one free phone call and learn your best price from nearly a dozen highly rated, price-competitive companies? Well, that's exactly what happens when you call SelectQuote Life. For example, George is 40. He was getting sky-high quotes from other companies because he takes meds to control his blood pressure. But when I shopped around, I found him a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $25 a month. I'm SelectQuote agent Dan Savino. And believe me, if SelectQuote isn't shopping for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 800-693-3399. That's 800-693-3399. 800-693-3399. Or go to SelectQuote.com. Since 1985, we shop, you save.
Get full details on the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Or price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
President Trump continues his meetings with world leaders at the Davos Summit. Then it's back home for the State of the Union address Tuesday, followed by the unveiling of the president's plans to fix roads, bridges, and tunnels all across the country. The infrastructure plan has a price tag of about $200 billion over the next decade. Consumer products maker Rubbermaid may be for sale after its parent company, Newell Brands, plunged to its lowest price in almost 5 years. Newell now says it'll have to divest some of its divisions in order to remain profitable. 17 public health schools, including Harvard and Johns Hopkins, have jointly pledged to refuse research money from a new anti-smoking group because it is funded by the tobacco industry. Please join me for Lou Dobbs tonight, 7 and 11 Eastern on the Fox Business Network. This is the Lou Dobbs Financial Report.
Hey, it's that time of year again to start planning your vacation with us. This year we're heading to the Secrets Maroma Beach in Riviera Maya, Mexico. And it's presented our trip by Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling, our friend Garrett over there, and by Joe Cotton Ford, our friend Tracy over there. And you're going to want to be a part of this. It is a beautiful property located, again, on Maroma Beach, which is one of the world's best beaches. You can snorkel right off the property there. 24-hour room service, all the bells and whistles. I love that it's adults only. And Apple Vacations has secured a price for us, but it won't last forever. So go to 560theanswer.com/passport and listen up. Oh, I have to sneeze. From now, no. Oh, it hurts. And from now until February 9th, you can enter to win a trip for two by downloading and launching the AM560 mobile app. Just go to 560theanswer.com/mobile to get the mobile app and enter to win this trip. So don't miss your chance to escape the cold and snow of Chicago and spend a warm, fun week with us in paradise. Go to 560theanswer.com/passport.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees a difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss, because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Bob Aument, a founding partner of the law firm of Dassman and Aument and longtime personal customer of Signature Bank. Our firm recently left one of the larger banks to bank with Signature Bank, and it's been a refreshing change. With Signature Bank, we've been able to tailor banking solutions that fit the specific needs of our firm. Beyond that, Signature Bank is responsive, efficient, and timely in meeting those needs. If I have a request, I pick up the phone and talk to Mick O'Rourke, not someone at a phone bank thousands of miles away. Dassman and Aument needed more than what the larger banks offer, and we found that with Signature Bank.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
If you have pain, listen up. Dennis Prager here. You don't need to live in pain. Let me repeat that. You don't have to live in pain. Chronic pain is the worst, whether it's from an accident or pain that just develops. So Chicagoland, you're in luck. Dr. Ken Candido is one of the nation's most respected and successful pain doctors. He's been voted one of Chicago's best pain doctors several times. Bottom line, he's the pain doctor you need. Dr. Candido of Chicago Anesthesia and Pain Specialists will help you get off pain medication pain and all of its side effects. How? By finding the source of your chronic pain and fixing it.
This is Ken Candido of Chicago Anesthesia Pain Specialists. Let's make you pain-free.
Call Dr. Ken Candido and make an appointment with a cutting-edge, respected, and successful pain physician. Go to mypainchicago.com. That's mypainchicago.com. Thousands have been helped with their chronic pain, and you can be the next one. Get the phone number and all the info you need at mypainchicago.com.
Year after every new year, you make the same resolutions for yourself, hoping that one of these times they just might stick. You know, the whole new year, new you thing. You're going to lose weight, quit smoking, eat better, find the love of your life. Well, best of luck to you. How about a resolution that can really happen? One for your business's computer and IT network. It's a goal that can be accomplished and realized instantly with the help of Turnkey IT. 2018 is poised for growth. You can't afford to let your business become sidetracked by poor IT assistance or dated computer hardware or software. Remember, in the changing world of IT, what you upgraded a few years ago may not cut it in the new year. One of the biggest parts of your business infrastructure is your IT network. And if that's not right, the impact can cost you a lot of money. Make your resolution today. Be ready to handle the growth expected in 2018 with your business backbone supported by Turnkey IT.
Leave the technical stuff to the pros so you can focus on the important things. Visit turnkey.pro today. Turnkey.pro.
AM 560, The Answer.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Did Trump trick bag the Dems with his DACA proposal that's DOA? We'll ask Brett Baer at 7:07.
And later, we'll find out, did President Trump say that he actually wanted to fire Special Counsel Robert Mueller? But first, let's go to the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
State Senator Iris Silverstein, apparently cleared of sexual harassment. We'll have full details on that story. A serial stowaway has been banned from Chicago airports. We'll tell you why. University of Chicago students protest out loud over the Steve Bannon speech invitation. A plan would ban most youth tackle football in the state. It's under consideration in Springfield. Blackhawks rolled the Red Wings. Bulls host the Lakers. And your forecast has strong winds up to 35 miles an hour this afternoon with increasing clouds. WIND Chicago News Time, 7 o'clock.
He responds like he usually does. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump reacting to the report he wanted to fire the special counsel last year.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake story.
Now, Fox Source confirms the president backed off amid worry in the White House about the political fallout of dumping Robert Mueller from the Russia probe. The New York Times reported a White House lawyer refused to fire him, threatened to quit. The president's talking up the surging stock market in Davos, saying if Hillary Clinton had won, it might be down 50%.
Because they would have added additional regulation to already the tremendous regulations we have.
In moments, the president will tell the World Economic Forum.
America is open for business. The president will be talking about tax and regulatory reform and how that has changed the playing field in the United States when it comes to doing business. Second theme will be engagement with the world. The president will talk about the importance of global trade, free and open markets. The third theme, the world working together on shared threats like North Korea, ISIS, and Iran.
Fox's John Roberts traveling with the president in Switzerland. The White House is floating an immigration compromise. Fox's Rachel Sutherland live in Washington.
Dave, the proposal would create a path to citizenship for 1.8 million people, far more than the estimated 700,000 illegal immigrants brought here as children. In exchange, the Trump administration wants $25 billion for a border wall system, as well as restrictions on family-based migration and an end to the diversity lottery program. The immigration plan isn't sitting well with some of the president's conservative base. Progressives don't like it either. Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren is calling for a clean Dreamers bill. Dave?
Rachel, hundreds turned out for a vigil last night in Kentucky, 2 days after a high school shooting that left 2 students dead, 20 injured. Some cried as they held candles. A giant American flag was raised. The accused student gunman may be tried as an adult. In South Korea, a fire broke out at a hospital, spreading quickly with no sprinkler system. 37 people were killed, 140 injured. Fox News, fair and balanced.
38 degrees, clear skies at 7:02. On AM 560, The Answer. Good morning, I'm Mike Scott. Chicago's police watchdog is investigating after a local police official tased a man running from a traffic stop on the south side. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability released body camera video of that November incident late yesterday. A Northwest suburban gymnastics coach is accused of having sex with a teen student. Kendall Coates faces 2 felony counts of criminal sexual assault. Authorities say he had sex with a 16-year-old girl at a Libertyville hotel earlier this month and multiple times at his home. Coates works for the U.S. Gymnastics Training Center in Lake Zurich. State Senator Ira Silverstein will not be punished for alleged sexual harassment. Last fall, victims' rights advocate Denise Rothheimer publicly accused the Chicago Democrat of harassing her while the pair worked together on legislation. A report released yesterday found that Silverstein did not engage in sexual harassment, but did behave in a manner unbecoming of a legislator. When Governor Rauner delivers his State of the State address next Wednesday in Springfield, we can expect to see lots of women wearing black in the audience. There's a push by the so-called Me Too movement to have female staffers, lawmakers, and lobbyists dress in black. A group of University of Chicago students are demanding the school rescind an invitation to Steve Bannon.
We're here to call on the university to do the right thing, disinvite Steve Bannon. Don't stand with him, stand with us.
Dozens held a protest yesterday. A man is dead following a single-vehicle crash in Aurora. The victim was driving last night on Heggs Road when his SUV left the road and hit a tree just north of Route 30. Sold-out Sox Fest will begin later on tonight. Blackhawks coast into the All-Star break with a 5-1 win over the Red Wings. Bulls and Lakers meet later tonight at the UC. Local college hoops, Belmont beat Eastern Illinois. Denver took care of Western Illinois. Notre Dame entertains Virginia Tech tomorrow, and on Sunday, DePaul will host Seton Hall. The news, a service of Accountemps. Payroll bookkeeping month end. Are you feeling short-staffed? Accountemps can provide accounting and finance professionals on a temporary or project basis when you need them to help with increased workloads. Call them today or visit Accountemps.com. Accountemps, a Robert Half company. 7:04 and a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Sean Hannity has a plan to start immigration reform.
My answer to all of this is if you build the wall expeditiously, fund it fully, get it moving, then you can talk about any other topic you want to talk about. But I'm not buying that it's going to happen down the road. Now, the president has been reiterating over and over again that we need this border wall.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560. The Answer.
You have to check blind spots to drive safely, right? Same thing goes for identity theft protection. If you just monitor your credit, you might miss something, like your info for sale on the dark web. LifeLock detects a wider range of identity threats to help protect your identity. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock offers visibility you might not get on your own. Membership starts at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS to save 10%.
When you're hiring, you want qualified candidates fast, and it can be hard to know where to find them. More than 3 million businesses use Indeed.com, the world's #1 job site. Whether you need entry-level or highly skilled employees, Indeed helps you find great talent and make the right hire. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/promo. That's Indeed.com/promo. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
7:06. Let's get an update on the roads in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. On the CTA Red Line at Morse, southbound or 95th bound trains are stopped there at Morse due to police activity. The north side of Chicago. Eden's inbound heavy Foster to Montrose. It's 21 minutes either way between Lake Cook and the junction. Kennedy inbound heavy Cumberland to Lawrence, Pulaski to the Burn Circle. 42 minutes O'Hare to downtown. It's 18 from Montrose, 16 on the Express. Outbound 11 minutes to Montrose, 26 to O'Hare. Inbound Eisenhower, 45 minutes, 390 to downtown, slow 25th to Western. Outbound 33 minutes. Stevenson, 54 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, 38 from the Tri-State. Outbound 36 minutes to 355. Ryan, 28 minutes, 95th to downtown. I-57, 17 minutes, I-80 to the Verge. Bishop Ford, 40. Lakeshore Drive is clear. Northbound Tri-State slow. The Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. The other tollways are fine. No problems to report on I-80 or in Northwest Indiana. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte on AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast is next. Here's our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Today, increasing cloudiness, winds gusting past 40 miles per hour, mild with a high 53. Mostly cloudy, breezy, and mild tonight, low 41. Breezy with partial sunshine tomorrow, high 46. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
40 at O'Hare, 40 along Chicago's lakefront. Your next news update is at 7:30. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by The Lou Bridges Show. Tune in on Saturday mornings at 8 to learn how you might fight foreclosure and keep your home.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know, we played this bite from former FBI counterterrorism director Terry Turchi the other day about the FBI. He was on Fox and Friends. But I just, in light of what we've learned yesterday about the found texts, thank God they weren't,
wipes clean.
Yeah, like with a cloth or something. Yeah, that didn't happen. They weren't in Sandy Berger's roll top desk. They were found, although we don't know where. So that plus the PR assault the FBI is doing to prevent the release of that Nunez memo on alleged surveillance abuses. And then the New York Times seeming to run interference by dropping this story about Trump allegedly wanting to fire Mueller last June. I just have to go back to what the former FBI counterterrorism director said about FBI failures from Page and Strzok back to Comey, senior leadership.
This is a catastrophic failure. The FBI was failed at the top by the director, the deputy director, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. Lisa Page, to give you a frame of reference here, was a chief legal counsel in the deputy director's office. That's a big deal. So this didn't just all happen. It wasn't just a series of coincidences. People who've worked major cases in the FBI know that these kinds of things just don't happen unless they're designed to happen this way.
And the upshot?
There's a lot of political dirty tricks going on here. I don't think this trail is going to stop at the door of the Russians. I think it's going to stop where the Democratic Party came through the door of the FBI. And I think this is Watergate Part 2. I think this is Hillary and Bill Clinton Part 2. We put up with all of this and the Clintons during my time in the FBI. And it was one scandal after another.
That phrase that he used, the Democrat Party walked through the front door of the FBI, that's the one that sticks with me. More on this topic, we're pleased to be joined by our friend Bret Baier. Of course, he is Fox News anchor of Special Report, weekdays, 5 p.m. Chicago time, and the author of the book 3 Days in January, Dwight Eisenhower's Final Mission. Bret, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Good morning.
Morning. So let's take the Devin Nunes memo first and the FBI's efforts, a letter from Assistant Attorney General Stephen Boyd to challenging the basis on which Nunes even wrote the memo, clearly trying to prevent its release. And the FBI, I think it seems to me, in concert with DOJ, trying to prevent the release of this 4-page memo that Nunes authored or had put together with staff. How should we interpret that in light of everything else that's going on at FBI?
Well, I think the memo is interesting because it is a product of the Republicans in the House Intelligence Committee. So naturally, there is a partisan element to it. I think there are facts, as we're being told there, distilled down from thousands of pages of classified material. So they distilled that down to what they see as the most egregious, issues of surveillance and FISA warrants. The Democrats now have done the same thing on the other side of the same classified material, distilling it to their own memo. And so there's a partisan element to that. I think that we haven't seen it, so we can hear what it's characterized to be, and likely that the dossier that was paid for by the Democrats somehow factoring into a FISA warrant application. But that part of it is naturally partisan because of the Republicans running the show. The text messages and the 5 months that we didn't know, and now they're retrieving these text messages, is less partisan and more, in the eyes of some people, more trouble.
Just one follow-up on the memo, though. So the FBI is also complaining about not having been provided a copy of the Nunes memo. Well, that's a bit rich, isn't it, since the FBI has been stonewalling the House, even after Paul Ryan said that he thought he had a sense for the FBI to produce what's been requested for months and months on end. The FBI seeming to, we get what we want, we give what we want, and we're accountable to no one, seems to be the attitude, even under Trump appointee Christopher Wray. And I find that a bit troubling, and so does Kim Strassel, and who writes about it in the Wall Street Journal today, and so does Cheryl Atkinson, who writes about it in The Hill.
Yeah, no, it is troubling, and eventually this is all going to come to a head. I think by next week, I'm being told that we're going to see the memo, and the chips will fall where they may. I think that, listen, whatever you think about, the politics of this, there are weird things that have been going on, and the FBI has to explain that and answer questions about it.
Big bombshell dropped last night, or so they say, by the New York Times, that President Trump once tried to fire special counsel Robert Mueller last June, and his attorney was going to resign if he did that, so he didn't do it. Who do you believe? Because Trump has now come out saying that is not true. Consider the source.
Yeah, but he's now also said this morning, I have the authority to fire Mueller. I could fire Mueller anytime I wanted to. I tend to believe that he was considering at least firing Mueller. The fact that he said that this morning.
We're talking about now last June. He's gone from considering firing Mueller to considering sitting down with him and being interviewed under oath. That's a sea change in a short period of time.
Yeah, it is. I think that is an interesting thing, and how that happens and the parameters around which it happens. I think what the president says about it and how his lawyers react to what the president says and kind of calibrate that. There's always like a little fine print that says if my lawyers allow it, or if with conditions of my lawyers. So I think the president's trying to show that he's ready and willing and able to talk to Mueller, but I do think that the lawyers are not 100% there yet.
Speaking of Trump being ready, willing, and able, how about dealing on DACA? Sort of a surprise for the president to propose potentially a path to citizenship for as many as 1.8 million people that are DACA designees or could have been, in exchange for those things that he outlined in that very public televised roundtable discussion he had a couple of weeks back with respect to chain migration, diversity visa lottery, and border and wall funding. Democrats rejected out of hand. Did he put them in a trick bag by coming over the top with an even bigger number than we've mostly been talking about and demonstrating that he's very reasonable on the topic and all he's asking for is the same thing he's been saying are must-haves from the outset?
I think so. Whenever you do that, whenever you actually talk details about any negotiation, big deal in Washington, it causes quite a stir because people actually have facts about what you want. And here is a president who's now getting a lot of grief, and an administration getting a lot of grief from the right, saying, how dare you, this is awful, this is 1.8 million, this is exactly what we feared, all this stuff. And then from the left saying, there's no way we can accept this, this is not what we bargained for, this is dead on arrival. And so I think this is all part of negotiation. But every time that you put out your marker, in Washington, this is what happens.
So, State of the Union is on Tuesday. What's your plan? What's Fox's plan to cover it?
I'll be anchoring with Martha McCallum, and it'll be a big night. I mean, there's a lot of things that this president is going to likely lay out. And after the success of the tax law in his eyes, and I think in the economy's eyes, he will tout the way forward. I think infrastructure is probably on his agenda soon. I think redoing Dodd-Frank, the regulations on Wall Street, is probably going to be pushed soon. And the question is whether he can get a Congress that is obviously scared in front of a midterm election to come on.
All right. He is Bret Baier. He is the anchor of Special Report, weekdays, 5 p.m. on Fox News Channel. Author of the book, 3 Days in January, Dwight Eisenhower's Final Mission. Bret, thanks as always for joining us. Appreciate your time.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
You've made the switch, and it feels so good. You've switched to Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
And we're going to be watching Bret Baier on Tuesday for our State of the Union Taste of Freedom event.
That's right.
I think there's tickets still available.
There are?
Yes.
Oh. All right. Well,
You like my rhetorical question? Yes.
you're on top of
Go to
things.
560theanswer.com/taste of freedom.
You're just making stuff up now, aren't you? Yeah. Okay.
Get your tickets. Oh, boy. Today, the wind is going to be strong, but it's going to be very warm. 53 degrees for a high, and we'll have increasing cloudiness throughout the day. Your weekend looks pretty good. Tomorrow it's going to be 45 degrees with mostly sunny skies. And then on Sunday, partly sunny, a high of 35 degrees. Let's get into our Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's the one and only Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Amy. Good morning. Good morning, Dan. There's some freedom on the Illinois tollways this morning. Well, no freedom from tolls, but freedom from traffic. The only real delay is on the northbound tri-state, 294 from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue, and that's just a fairly brief slowdown. The other tollways, at least for now, are still delay-free. The Edens is 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 22. Kennedy, 45 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 28. The Eisenhower, 45 minutes from 390 to the Circle, outbound 34. Stevenson, 58 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 35. The Ryan is 30 minutes, 95th to downtown. Bishop Ford's heavy again, 32 minutes from 8094 to the Merge. And Northwest Indiana, well, traffic is completely free there, no delays at all. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Thanks to you, Ace was awarded its 11th straight J.D. Power Award for customer satisfaction with home improvement retail stores. To say thanks, we're giving you 20% off throughout the store. And as always, the help is free. So hurry into your local Ace and save 20% on select items this Friday through Sunday only. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only at participating stores. Additional conditions and exclusions apply. See store for details. For J.D. Power Award information, visit jdpower.com.
You're up before dark 30. You don't ask for medals or even a pat on the back. But if all your hard work is indeed its own reward, then consider the new Ram Limited Tungsten Edition as a bonus. Natura Plus leather seating, premium projector headlamps, suede headliner, packaged in the highly capable, hard-working truck you'd expect from Ram. Keep doing what you do, but who says you can't do it in a nicer truck? The new Ram Limited Tungsten, the most luxurious Ram truck ever. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
I'm Mark Gastineau. I played in the NFL for 10 years. I was diagnosed with CTE, with dementia, Alzheimer's, and Parkinson's. The fruits and vegetables that we take from Balance of Nature is the best thing that we could ever do. And I'm calling in now to order extra because of my wife has been taking mine because she sees the difference in me. It is a wonderful thing that Balance of Nature is doing. I hear the testimonies on the radio, but I'm a testimony for myself. And the fruits and vegetables, if I don't take them every single day, my day is not going to go the same. So God bless you, and thank you for what you've done for my wife and I.
When you call, use discount code CHICAGO, and we'll take 35% off your first month's order and ship it to you free. Call 800-246-8751 or go online to balanceofnature.com and use discount code CHICAGO.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store.
featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
Looking to secure a mortgage? Then you need to call Team Hochberg. Abby, millennial, purchasing a home. So her father, Sal, recommended she secure a Team Hochberg approval before speaking with a realtor. Abby naturally consulted with her friends who've never purchased a home before and applied online. Abby called her dad because the online lender wasn't responding to her emails. Sal told her to stop messing around with the online lender and call Team Hochberg, the only lender he trusted to help his daughter. We approved Abby to purchase a home, and Team Hochberg's real estate experts found Abby the perfect home. The internet's great for purchasing socks, shoes, and underpants, not mortgages. When securing a mortgage, you can either waste your time getting terrible service from online lenders, or you can call Team Hochberg at 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Team Hochberg has helped thousands of AM560 listeners, but we can't help if you don't call 312-751-1333 or visit am560david.com. Pearl Mortgage, an equal housing lender, Illinois residential mortgage licensee 4358 and MLS 19186.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, question for you. Do you believe the state in which you live is the worst possible state in the nation in which to live? That's a question that Gallup asked a couple thousand Americans, and they ranked the states. The state with the highest percentage of their population that thinks they are living in the worst possible state in the nation in which to live is, Amy?
I'm going to have to go with Illinois.
Hey, you got it. All right. Top in the list, up to 21 to 25%, to give it a little bit of a range. 21 to 25% of Illinois residents think they live in the worst possible state in which to live. Now, that corresponds nicely to a survey last year, which asked people whether or not they wanted to leave their state, the state in which they live. Illinois topped that list by a wide margin. Nearly half of the population of this state wants to leave.
Wow.
And the second place on that other survey was Connecticut, with just under 30% of their population that wants to leave Connecticut, and, by the way, is leaving. Just to show you the spread between first to second worst on that survey. So 21 to 25% of Illinoisans think they live in the worst possible state in which to live. Are you one of them? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Amy, you've lived across the fruited plains.
Yeah, Ohio, Oklahoma, Minnesota, Iowa, Arizona, Texas, Michigan. And where have you lived in?
I've lived in Chicago and Wheaton.
Those aren't states. Those are cities. So y'all,
someday Wheaton
you've
could be a
spent
state.
your whole life in Illinois.
When we secede. Yeah, when we go rogue. So your
Texas is great. It just smells like freedom down there.
So of the states in which you've lived,
yes,
Mount Prospect, you hail from Mount Prospect.
Yes, I do.
Where does Illinois rank?
It would be the bottom.
All right, well, there you go. There it is, confirming the
Just
survey
because
research.
I don't like that I'm paying more in property taxes than I am my principal mortgage.
It's not an
It's not
enjoyable
fair.
condition. It's not fun, particularly in terms of what you're getting for that largesse. Here's something else, too. Illinois job growth in 2017, new numbers out from Illinois Department of Employment Security. From the first 6 months of the year, Illinois gained 25,500 jobs, a growth rate anemic, but a growth rate nonetheless of 0.43% in terms of job growth. That's the first 6 months of last year. Then the tax increase was reimposed with the Chicago Democrats and surrender Republicans and an absent governor. Remember that? July 4th weekend? 32% tax increase was imposed. That doesn't matter, right? Oh. During the second half of the year, from July to December, 25,500 the first 6 months. The last 6 months, 4,000. 0.07% job growth the last half of 2017 in Illinois. People go where the opportunities are. People go where you get a square deal. People go to have an enjoyable but affordable quality of life.
I just feel like I'm getting robbed. You know, I laid out all my people's gas bills going up, water because we have this garbage tax now. It just doesn't stop.
Everything in this state is rigged, and that includes even the Me Too movement. Did you see this? Mike Scott reported it. State Senator Ira Silverstein has been exonerated from the claims of sexual harassment against him.
How did they have an exoneration? How was he exonerated?
The Inspector General, recently installed after 3 years of a vacancy, said that he's not guilty of sexual harassment.
Okay.
This is the one woman who's come forward of the more than 300 who signed a letter talking about the culture of sexual harassment in Springfield. One woman who we've had on the show, Denise Rothheimer, laid out the case and her experience with Senator Ira Silverstein. This is the best. This is Illinois, this case. Not guilty of sexual harassment, says the Inspector General. However,
here's the catch.
The statement Julie Porter released said, he did behave in a manner unbecoming a legislator in violation of the Illinois Governmental Ethics Act. So the conversation was about his behavior towards Denise Rothheimer. He's not guilty of sexual harassment, which was the nature of the behavior, but he is guilty of conduct unbecoming a legislator in violation of the law. Yeah, if you can make sense of that, you're a better man than I am. Ralph in Rantoul.
Yeah, good morning. I've lived in California, Illinois, Connecticut, England, Indiana, and been to a bunch of different places. But the places where I've owned houses, which is England, California, Illinois, and Connecticut, they are, it's a tie for how badly they suck. They suck really badly, but in different ways. California is a great state that's been wrecked by really bad politicians. Illinois, too. I mean, Illinois is really a great state. It's got a great city there, and it's being wrecked by bad people that are held up by mopes and stooges that continue to walk like those zombies in H.G. Wells' Time Machine back into the caves. They walk straight into the polling booths and pull the switches for these morons that subjugate them into political slavery. I don't get it. In Connecticut, unless you have like a $20 million house in Stamford or Greenwich, you don't count. So if you're just one of the poor people out on your 1 acre plot that you paid $750,000 for, you're irrelevant, which is fine. They kind of leave you alone, but you still have to steer clear of all the bad politics.
Thanks for the call, Ralph.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer, tackling youth football. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here is Mike Scott.
39 degrees. Skies are mostly sunny. At 7:32, we're watching developments in South Korea this morning, where fire raced through a small hospital with no sprinkler system, killing 37, many of them elderly, and injuring more than 140 in the country's deadliest blaze in about a decade. President Trump says America is open for business. He is addressing the Global Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland. The president saying the world is witnessing a resurgence of a strong and prosperous America. The president also dismissed a report today that he ordered special counsel Robert Mueller to be fired last June.
You seek to fire Mueller.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
Meantime, the president also apologized for 3 anti-Islamic videos he retweeted in November. The videos were from one of Britain's far-right groups condemned by that country's prime minister. Chicago's police watchdog is investigating after a local police officer tased a man running from a traffic stop on the south side last year. The Northwest suburban gymnastics coach is accused of having sex with a teenage student. Kendall Coates faces 2 felony counts of criminal sexual assault. Authorities contend he had sex with a 16-year-old girl at a Libertyville hotel earlier this month and multiple times at his home. When Governor Rauner delivers his State of the State address next Wednesday in Springfield, he should have a lot of women wearing black in the audience. There is a push by the so-called Me Too movement to have female lawmakers, staffers, and lobbyists dressed in black to show their opposition to sexual harassment and discrimination at the state capitol. A sold-out Sox Fest begins tonight, while the Blackhawks were winners over the Red Wings, and the Bulls and Lakers meet tonight. The news service of Ace. Ace is the helpful place with the helpful hardware folks. Your neighborhood Ace has a wide selection of products from the best brands, including Valspar, Craftsman, Scotts, Toro, Weber, Traeger, and Yeti, plus the expertise you need to take on any project with confidence. Only at Ace, the helpful place. 734. Check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Dennis Prager explains how far left the Democrats have gone.
There's one line there that really got me. The free market is not the solution to poverty. And everybody said, oh, that's the Communist Party, that's the Communist Manifesto. And it was the Democratic Party manifesto. We just don't realize how far left this group has gone.
The Dennis Prager Show. Weekdays at 11, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on AM 560. The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Papa Nicholas Coffee. Papa Nicholas Coffee, a family tradition since 1897.
Signature Bank is Chicago's fastest growing independently owned business bank. It's a bank where relationships still matter. Signature Bank knows your name and your story. I'm Dan Proft, and I know this because Signature Bank is my business bank.
I'm Jerry Kerrigan, one of the owners of F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing Company, a third-generation family-run business. Our trusted longtime accountant referred us to Signature Bank, and we've never been happier. On one of our first meetings, Signature Bank CEO Mick O'Rourke said, "You worry about running the business, and we'll take care of everything else." Since that initial meeting, Signature Bank has lived up to every promise they've made. The decision-making is local, the staff is consistent, and the service is outstanding. F.J. Kerrigan Plumbing understands the value of long-term customer relationships, and we plan to be a customer of Signature Bank for a long time to come.
Signature Bank is looking for their next success story. To learn more about turning your business vision into reality, visit signaturebank.bank. Signature Bank, helping local businesses succeed. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
736. Let's get an update on the morning ride to work in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The latest now with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. Friday morning commute on the inbound Edens, pretty smooth. Just 20 minutes, like Cook to Montrose, outbound 26. Kennedy inbound delays start at Nagel. 45 minutes, O'Hare to downtown. 27 from Montrose, 25 in the Express. Outbound 28 to the airport. On Eisenhower, get an hour and 5 minutes now from 390 to downtown. It's jammed 25th Burn Circle. Outbound 37 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 36 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Tri-State delays are northbound from the Reagan Tollway to North Avenue. Northbound Veterans Memorial, little congestion approaching the Reagan Tollway, but otherwise, the other tollways look great. Northwest Indiana's clear. Traffic service at Staples. Staples has great prices on everything you need to print. Now, get up to $80 off select HP OfficeJet Pro printers. As HP celebrates 30 years of helping small business succeed. Ends 1/27. Restrictions may apply. See staples.com for details. Staples, it's Pro Time. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte. At AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Winds becoming very strong throughout the day. Wind gusts up to 35 miles an hour this afternoon with increasing clouds and a high near 53. Currently 40. Next news coming up at 8. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the IRS Radio Hour with attorney Stephen Leahy every Sunday afternoon at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
If you're talking about it, I'll be talking about it. Dennis Prager here. Join me this morning at 11, right here on AM 560, The Answer.
Dan and Amy, and we started this conversation up at Lake County Jail yesterday where we broadcast the show.
Rock, 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 rock.
You know who sings that?
Steady. Oh, that was really bad. Pitchy. Who sings the song? Tell me, Justin. Who sings?
No, do not tell her.
The Whispers.
Oh, come on, you told her.
Yeah, I would never guess it. I know the song, but not the group.
And by the way, thanks to Lake County Sheriff Mark Kern for hosting us and all the personnel up there. That was great.
Yeah, we got a great tour of the Lake County Jail after the show. Dan, of course, missed it because that's what you do. But Eric Thomas and Keith Conrad and I, we went to the segregation block where you're stuck in the cell for 23 hours. You just come out to take a shower and walk around a little.
I'm sure they were happy to see you.
Well, they were. There's a lot of banging going on cell doors when we were in there. People going,
yeah, I hope that's what they were doing. And I appreciate this autographed picture of Rita Hayworth that Sheriff Kern provided me in case I ever need to tunnel out of a jail cell. To Dan, you and Rita would have made a great couple. Maybe a time machine, Sheriff Mark Kern. I do often conjure up the golden age of Hollywood. Kind of a throwback to that time period. So
you two would have made a cute couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so we talked about this yesterday because it was breaking news in the morning that the state rep, who Channel 7 said she was state senator. She's a state rep, right?
Carol Sente.
Yeah, Carol Sente. She doesn't have any kids, and she lives in Vernon Hills, which is a huge football community.
And thank goodness she's not running again, so we'll be rid of one of those drones that Ralph from Rantoul was talking about when we were talking about Illinois before the news.
And she has officially authored a bill called the Dave Duerson Act, and it's an Illinois law, or she wants it to become a law, that would ban kids under 12 from playing tackle football. So she had this press conference, outside the Thompson Center. Then they went inside where she was joined by Treg Duerson, Dave Duerson's son.
Yeah. We have an obligation to protect children's futures, especially when we know how brain trauma can be prevented.
And he wasn't the only one there. Otis Wilson was there, and a doctor, Dr. Chris Nowinski from the Concussion Legacy Foundation.
Study after study is showing that starting tackle football before 12 leads to greater neurological impairment later in life.
And a lot of people disagree. Well, first of all, this is a huge government overstep. I mean, the government should not decide if my kids can or cannot play football. That is a parental decision.
Is it the right call for the state to ban youth football, tackle football under the age of 12? Is that the right call? And is it their call to make?
312.
You make the call. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line.
Or 64636, type in DA, then a quick comment. One person that was there that was really surprised to hear what he had to say is my good friend Mike Adamley. Worked with him for years, love him. And football.
Northwestern guy.
Yeah, he went to Northwestern, played football, played also, professional football.
Of course.
He does
Bears.
have CTE. And if he could do it all over again?
Given what we know today, and if I had to do it all over again, I certainly would I have not done something that that would have put me in harm's way.
But football made him who he is. I mean, I don't think he would have gotten the job at Channel 5 or Channel 7 had he not had that on his resume, for playing sports.
Well, I mean, maybe. I don't know. It's hard to, go back and then pretend like you could figure out what the path would have looked like had you made different decisions or your parents made different decisions when you were, a pre-adolescent. That's what we're talking about here. Just the science on this, the studies that are being referenced, most notably it's this Boston University study from last year. I believe we talked about it when it came out, and we've talked about it with Steve Devick, who's local, and also the King Devick test that's used to test concussions or to identify concussions, and this in conjunction with the Mayo Clinic. I should probably get him back on the show on this topic. But the Boston University study looked at behavior changes. There was no examination of physical changes in the brain. This is the study that they're basing a lot of the conclusions they're drawing on. Now, I'm not dismissing the study. I'm just describing it. You also have, for these youth football leagues, the threat of litigation. Pop Warner football is facing a class action lawsuit asserting it knowingly put players in harm's way. Last year, the Ivy League decided to eliminate tackling at practices. They might as well eliminate the games, too, in the Ivy League football. Canadian Football League made a similar announcement last year. There's talk in different school districts about limiting tackling in 6th, 7th, 8th grade, doing more flag until you get a little bit older. These are all things under consideration. So, again, it's two things. It's two questions. One, is it the right call? Two, is it the state's call?
It's none of their darn business, honestly, because we know people who play Little League football or Pee Wee football, and it's the parents' choice. I mean, we are in debt. We are the worst state in the country, and they're worried about that, about creating a law which has been assigned a number, Dan, and the next step, it's going to go to a hearing. We have time for that?
The study in question was based on a sample of 214 former players with an average age of 51 last year when the study was done. 43 played through high school, 103 played through college, remaining 68 played in the NFL. Researchers found that players in all three groups who participated in youth football before the age of 12 had a twofold risk of problems with behavior regulation, apathy, and executive function, and a threefold risk of clinically elevated depression scores. They talk about the development of the brain between the years of 10 and 12. And if you subject that developing brain to repetitive head impacts, it may cause problems later in life. There's a lot of qualified language in this study that so much is being based on. And I'm not dismissing it. I'm describing it. I'm quoting from it. And so, again, based on what we know to be true, should we start having preening politicians like Carol Sente, rush to the State House to impose cookie-cutter laws on, as you suggest, parental decisions and local decisions in point of fact, too.
Yeah.
Parental decisions in combination with a private sports league, in combination with the local park district, or in combination with the local school district.
Well, one parent who runs the youth football program in Elmhurst, he went down to try and stop this.
Some parents are maybe not comfortable having kids play football, and that's okay, but many parents are, and we want the parents to make that decision based on the information they have, not an Illinois state law.
Over the last since 2009, there's been about a 20% decline in youth football participation. Now it bumped up a little bit, I think, in the last couple of years, but you've certainly seen a lot of kids move away from, and families move away from football to lacrosse or cross country or other fall sports, golf, as I did.
Yeah. It's not, if you get a concussion in golf, you did something wrong. Maybe you swung the club too hard.
Brian in Naperville, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, I totally agree with the bill. I think it's a common sense measure to protect kids. If you look at the pathology of society in the United States of America, you see that violence is endemic. We've got the Second Amendment which basically guarantees that 20,000 Americans per year will get killed with guns. You've got the NFL, you've got CTE, you've got violence is such a part of our culture that we do need people to step in and protect those of us that are the most vulnerable, which would be those kids that are starting this sport so young. So yeah, I think we need some measures to protect us from ourselves. I don't think we do a good job as a society protecting each other from violent behavior, and my hat's off to her.
Okay,
I wish people do more about the guns, but
I don't really.
Violence.
I got you. I don't really understand the Second Amendment analogy, but okay, thanks for the call, Brian. And boy, the idea of we do a bad job of protecting ourselves, but state government is going to do a better job than I'm going to do protecting myself. Boy, sorry, I'm not on board for that philosophical tangent. Now, the issue of youth football based on the evidence, that's a separate conversation. Extrapolating from this conversation to the Second Amendment, the right to self-protection and paternalistic government, okay, Brian, I think I got where you're coming from, and I'm not a fellow traveler. Pat on the northwest side.
Hi, guys. I've been a paramedic for 22 years, and some of the worst things I've seen happen to kids come from swimming. So if you want to talk about pathology, swimming causes a lot of deaths if you want to talk about sports. The other thing is you better get rid of the televisions because there's a study out of Japan saying that there's brain damage caused by kids watching too much TV. So, I mean, if you want to go this route, there's many things we can point fingers at.
Yeah, they say you have a mental disability if you let your kids play more than 4 hours a day of video games.
Thanks for the call, Pat. I mean, there is this, there's this slippery slope argument. If this is, what is the standard by which state government is compelled to intervene, for example? And if that's the standard, then you get to, and you're going to have enterprising politicians attempt to apply it elsewhere. Kind of camel's nose under the tent concern. It's fair. Nick on the north side.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. I believe that there should be contact tackling in children's football. It should be up to the parents. And just like youth hockey in Illinois, from travel that's recreational to house league, it's skilled. There's no checking at all until you're 2003, 2004. And then you got children that don't check at all. They can't check. And then they get to the eighth grade freshman level, and you're playing bigger kids and smaller kids. All of a sudden now there is checking, and that's where the majority of people now get hurt in hockey is from because they never check, and then all of a sudden they start to check, and they don't know how to take a check or how to get hit, and it's such a violent, faster sport. So I believe there should be checking from the beginning till the end, and it should be up to the parents.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
And this announcement from the state rep came on the same day that Vince McMahon announced that the XFL is returning in 2020.
Finally.
Well, you know what, though? And this is the best part. He said, Kaepernick, welcome to the new XFL. You have to stand for the anthem. That was a big thing on his.
Yeah, Vince McMahon knows how to market.
Yes, he does.
Here, my question is, how will this impact the Lingerie Football League?
Oh, that's right. Remember I sat next to that linebacker? She was hot.
Yeah, it's not a statement you get to.
Her uniform's a teddy. She's hot.
Not a statement you get to make at a lot of football games. But I would like, if anybody knows how this could potentially negatively impact the Lingerie League, that will probably determine my position on the issue. Harry in Hawthorne Woods.
Hi, good morning, guys. Yeah, just what we need is a paternalistic government telling us, like that one guy, we're too dangerous for ourselves. Somebody needs to take care of us. So we need these corrupt politicians being the ones to oversee us. That'd be just great. Okay, well, to the point. This is obviously a retrospective study, okay? So there's inherent bias within the study. Granted, I haven't read it. But to make these jumps in causality, to determine that there's so many factors that would require a randomized prospective double-blind study in order to weed out any bias or attempt to weed out bias. I should say that it's a ridiculous conclusion to draw from a paper like that. You can't do that.
You sound like you're either a doctor or a research scientist or
I'm a doctor.
Econometrician. Okay, all right. Yeah.
Econometrician.
Yeah.
What is an econometrician?
What? Econometrician. That's.
Well, no, that was a word. That was a word.
An economic nutritionist?
Yes, yeah.
That was a word Mo made up in the Three Stooges.
What's an econometrician?
Thanks for the call, Dr. Harry, the econometrician. Econometrics. Didn't you take econometrics at University of Iowa?
Oh, yeah, I did. I got an A. It's my favorite class. Sure.
Mark in Chicago.
Harvard, Iowa.
Hey, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
Hey, how you doing? Good morning, guys. This guy earlier talking about, the Second Amendment guaranteeing the deaths of people, and we have to protect children and protect us from ourselves. He ought to check himself into a mental hospital because there's something wrong with him.
Okay, Mark. Hey, Mark, are you on the road?
No, I'm not. Well, yes, I am right now.
He's not
pulled
sure.
out. Yeah, I just pulled out, so
all
yes,
right.
I'm
Okay,
getting
keep two hands on the wheel there, buddy.
All
Be
right.
safe out
Thanks
there.
for the call, Mark. Appreciate that.
I feel sorry for the person driving next to him.
I wonder, do you think Mark played youth football before the age of 12? Paul in Lake Forest, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Good morning. Good show.
Thank you.
I have a nephew who is a punter at a Division I college. Grew to be about 6'1", 210. In high school, they want him to play tight end and punt. Told my brother his brain's going to be mush at tight end. Punter is fairly safe. My point is this. I'm sitting with my dad in the stands, and he goes, you know how you can get rid of this concussion thing in football?
How?
Put a single bar across everybody's face mask instead of these big face masks that everybody has.
The old
One
Gary
single
Anderson
bar.
face mask. Yeah, right. The kicker.
Nobody will lead with their heads. They will fundamentally tackle with their shoulders, with the head on the side like you're supposed to. Nobody will lead with the face. Nobody will lead with the crown. And I think that would help alleviate it. But football, it's a dead sport. I know a lot about the concussion thing. You get one concussion, one little one. It can affect you the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Thanks for the
even
call, Paul.
Gronk in that last game, Gronkowski.
Yeah, I know him.
He had head-to-head contact, and they took him out of the game because he had to be checked for concussion. Keep Gronk in. Don't
Interesting
take him out.
factoid about Gronk.
Yeah.
He was an econometrician before he started playing football. Matthew in Milwaukee.
Hi, how you guys doing today?
Good.
Good to join you from your neighbor to the north. I don't know. I'm really of the opinion it's strange to see the government stepping all over things like this, but then they still allow parents to decide whether they can or can't vaccinate their kids when statistics are out on both sides. But the paternalistic view, and I highly disagree with the caller about the whole Second Amendment thing. It's total non sequitur. Doesn't make sense. But speaking as a brain injury specialist, the axons in your brain can get severed from nearly anything in your car, whiplash from getting rear-ended. So is the government suddenly going to start telling people they have to drive these smart cars that have to have 30 feet in between each one? It's such a silly notion.
Thanks for the call, Matthew.
Hear about the big stories of the day, then talk about them right here on Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
My blood pressure is significantly so low now compared to what it was. I think I'm doing great with it.
That's one thing I like about Balance of Nature. Y'all listen, you talk and communicate, and not just give us your order. We're done. Bye. You know, it to me it makes more. I want to say kind of a family-oriented business. That we're out here for you, and we're part of your extended family, trying to fill you in, rather than just take your money.
I feel great. A lot of the aches and pains I have the arthritis in my hand seems to have dissipated most of the time, and I feel wonderful.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751 or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code Chicago.
Don't forget that you can watch Chicago's Morning Answer on the Income Store live video stream every morning at 560theanswer.com.
The following is a paid political announcement.
Hi, this is Karen Feldman, candidate in the 59th House District. I'm running for state representative because I will work to create an ethical environment in Illinois government, which means supporting term limits and ending career politicians. I will push for fair and independent redistricting reform, stop family burdening Madigan tax hikes, and demand property tax relief for all.
Let's get Illinois back into shape. A vote for Karen Feldman is a vote for Illinois. Paid for by the Friends of Karen Feldman.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. On the occasion of the 44th Annual March for Life, commemorating the worst U.S. Supreme Court decision since Dred Scott, I reflect on my own march. I was born in April 1972, and I was adopted. So had the law been different 9 months earlier, perhaps my birth mother's decision would have been as well. Our rights may come from our Creator, but today, most people equate legal license with moral rectitude. It's not like it's illegal, right? So what's the big deal? For many Americans, it was no big deal that last year Planned Parenthood eliminated 321,384 children created in God's image, just as valuable as me or you or the President of the United States or your favorite actor, athlete, or artist. Roe v. Wade is bad law, both on its merits and its effects. It fueled the drive away from the law as instruction on living the kind, virtuous life. Today, the law mainly serves our how do I get to yes culture by sanctioning the unrestrained appetites of dopamine junkies, so long as the government is cut in on the action. It's one thing for rapacious statists to view us as their sentinels. The trick is getting us to agree with them. Our hope, as exemplified by the March for Life attendees, is to be found in those who don't agree.
Forever My Girl is a modern-day prodigal son story. Country music star Liam Page never got over Josie, his one true love he left at the altar. But when he returns to his hometown years later, he's faced with the consequences of all he left behind.
Why'd you leave my mama?
I was young. I got lost.
But you found your way back now, right?
Find your way back home in the film NBC Raves will make you laugh, cry, and fall in love. Forever My Girl. Rated PG. Parental guidance suggested. Now playing.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
It's news, opinion, insight. It's AM 560, The Answer. WIND, Chicago.
Come to America. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
America is open for business, and we are competitive once again.
President Trump addressing business and political leaders at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland.
We are eliminating burdensome regulations at a record pace.
Fox's Simon Owen live in our European bureau.
Dave, the president making his pitch to business executives.
There has never been a better time to hire, to build, to invest, and to grow in the United States.
He talked up tax reform, saying there's been, quote, a big, beautiful waterfall of companies paying bonuses to workers since the tax package went through. And he discussed reforming international trade.
We cannot have free and open trade if some countries exploit the system at the expense of others.
He said unfair trade practices are distorting markets. Dave.
Now, Simon, an update on the economy is just out for the U.S., showing slower GDP growth last quarter, less than 3%, 2.6%. Growth was over 3% during the spring and summer quarters. President Trump also talked about reforming our immigration system, getting rid of chain migration, among his proposals, and a compromise plan that would allow a path to citizenship for up to 1.8 million illegal immigrants as part of the DACA fix, protecting some brought to the U.S. as kids. But some conservatives are calling that amnesty, and Democratic Senate Leader Chuck Schumer is wary.
The White House, unfortunately, has proven unreliable and wildly unpredictable.
The White House also wants $25 billion in border wall funding. Several hours ago, the president reacted to a report he tried to fire special counsel Robert Mueller in the Russia probe last year.
Fake news, folks. Fake news.
What's your message today?
Typical New York Times fake stories.
The New York Times reported that a White House lawyer refused to do it, threatened to quit, and then the president relented. This is Fox News. Fair and balanced.
Sunshine, 40 degrees at 8:02 on AM 560. The Answer. Good morning. I'm Mike Scott. Chicago's police watchdog is investigating after a local police officer tased a man running from a traffic stop on the south side last year. The Civilian Office of Police Accountability released body cam video of that November incident yesterday. A Northwest Suburban gymnastics coach is accused of having sex with a teen student. Kendale Coates faces 2 felony counts of criminal sexual assault. Authorities say he had sex with a 16-year-old girl at a Libertyville hotel earlier this month and multiple times at his home. Coates worked at the U.S. Gymnastics Training Center in Lake Zurich. Big changes coming to Chicago's Red Line as an expansion project begins to take effect, aiming to bring new transportation to the city's far south side. Renderings of what that new route would look like show 4 new stations now near 103rd, 111th, Michigan Avenue, and 130th. The project estimated to cost $2 billion. Nothing finalized yet. Timing is dependent on funding and federal approvals. Lawyers for the man accused of kidnapping and killing a Chinese-born U of I scholar want to delay his trial. Brent Christensen's attorneys asked for that delay because the case is now a death penalty case. Federal prosecutors want to put Christensen on trial in February for the kidnapping and death of Yingying Zhang. The sold-out Sox Fest begins tonight. Alex DeBrincat, the hat trick in the Blackhawks' 5-1 win over the Red Wings. Bulls and Lakers meet tonight at the UC. It's 8:03, time for the AM 560 Business Beat from the Fox Business Network, a service of Turnkey.pro. Here's Ginny Casola.
From the Fox Business Network, Apple's HomePod, its answer to Alexa, is going on sale today. You can order it for delivery February 9th. Apple is charging much more than its competitors, $349. Dell could be going public again. It became a private company in 2013. The Wall Street Journal says Dell is considering alternatives for the company, which includes selling stock. It's also said to be interested in a deal with tech company VMware, though talks are said to be in an early stage. Walmart is laying off up to 500 workers at its corporate headquarters in Bentonville, Arkansas. The company says it is restructuring and streamlining. Walmart says it will pay laid-off workers up to 60 days' pay and will help them find new jobs. The Dow was up 140 yesterday. NASDAQ was down 3, S&P up a point. With the Fox Business Report, I'm Ginny Cosola.
8:04, a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Larry Elder is frustrated with Congress.
All Republicans voted the same way. Therefore, they need to have 9 votes from you guys, from the Democrats. So how can you say the Republicans shut down the government? When all Republicans voted to keep the government open, they couldn't get 9 Democrats to agree. Is this thing on? I don't think this thing is on. When you don't need a single vote from the other side, that's when you're in control.
The Larry Elder Show, weeknights at 7, right before Jay Sekulow at 9 on AM 560. The Answer.
2018 is an opportunity to grow your business with top talent. But how do you find it? ZipRecruiter. One click posts your job to over 100 job boards. Then, smart matching technology instantly alerts quality candidates about your job. No wonder 80% of employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate through the site in just one day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
To try ZipRecruiter for free, just go to ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/talkradio.
One size fits all has no place in your bedroom. Hi, I'm Christian von Rickenbach, founder of Helix Sleep, and we know one mattress can't work for everyone. That's why we created the only mattress built for you. Go to helixsleep.com, take our 2-minute sleep quiz, and we'll build your custom mattress and ship it to you for free. Try it for 100 nights, and if it's not the best sleep you've ever had, we'll pick it up and give you your money back. Go to helixsleep.com/talkradio right now, and we'll give you $50 towards your custom mattress. That's helixsleep.com/talkradio.
You have to check blind spots to drive safely, right? Same thing goes for identity theft protection. If you just monitor your credit, you might miss something, like your info for sale on the dark web. LifeLock detects a wider range of identity threats to help protect your identity. No one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but LifeLock offers visibility you might not get on your own. Membership starts at $9.99 a month plus applicable taxes. Go to LifeLock.com. Use promo code NEWS to save 10%.
For many businesses, hiring is tough. You want access to highly qualified candidates fast. And you don't want to sign a long-term contract or pay upfront fees. That's why you need Indeed.com, delivering 6 times more hires than any other job site, according to independent research. Indeed is offering new users a $50 credit to give their first job post premium visibility as a sponsored job. Redeem this offer at Indeed.com/credit. That's Indeed.com/credit. Terms, conditions, and quality standards apply.
8:07. Let's get an update on the ride to work this morning in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Here's Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. In Berwyn and Cicero, westbound Cermak is closed. 61st to Lombard, got a fire. We're told it's on the roof of the Olympic Theater. Tri-State Tollway southbound. A mess from Grand Avenue curve to North Avenue. The southbound Tri-State is closed right now between North Avenue and the Eisenhower Expressway due to a crash. Northbound Tri-State delays are from 95th to Archer, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, then from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. The Adams Tollway's fine. Reagan Tollway heavy Orchard to 31, with crash on the right shoulder. Veterans Memorial slow southbound North Avenue to Roosevelt, northbound Jan from Mountain Toll to the Reagan Tollway. Edens is 22 minutes, Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 25. Kennedy, 58 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, a little quicker than the Express, outbound 30. The Eisenhower, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to the Circle, and 45 minutes from Manhunt, outbound 37 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 10 minutes, 355 to Lakeshore Drive, outbound 42 minutes. Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to the Loop. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast with our meteorologist, Kevin Snyder.
Clouds increase, winds gust past 40 miles per hour today, high 53. Mostly cloudy, breezy night, gusts up to 30 miles per hour, low 41. Breezy in the morning tomorrow, otherwise partly sunny, high 46. And a mainly clear night, low 29. Partly sunny Sunday, high 35. I'm Kevin Snyder on AM 560, The Answer.
Sunshine and 40 right now. Next news at 8:30. And Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by the Lou Bridges Show. Get foreclosure defense solutions that may save your home. Saturday mornings at 8 on AM 560, The Answer.
This is Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan Proft and Amy Jacobson on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. You know, I'm so glad that former investigative reporter for CBS, Cheryl Atkinson, got out of the D.C. press corps so she can ask
all the real questions.
Yeah, all the right questions. She should be a member of Congress. She actually asks all the proper oversight questions. She does so again as it pertains to the FBI in an op-ed in The Hill. She writes, does Ms. Atkinson, what happens when federal agencies accused of possible wrongdoing also control the alleged evidence against them? What happens when they're the ones in charge of who inside their agencies or connected to them ultimately gets investigated and possibly charged? Those questions are moving to the forefront as facts play out in the investigations into our intelligence agencies' surveillance activities, and in particular, the FBI's increasing public pressure on House Republicans and, as Kim Strassel argues in the Wall Street Journal, ultimately President Trump, to not allow that memo that Devin Nunes and his team crafted over the last several months, that 4-page memo that's circulating, that's supposed to be made public as early as next week, about abuses at Jim Comey's FBI, reports that the specific individuals, among the specific individuals named for abusing the surveillance programs, Comey, Rosenstein, Deputy Attorney General, Andy McCabe, Deputy Director, FBI. And so Stephen Boyd, the Assistant Attorney General, sent a letter this week trying to put a chill on that, chill on public release. But those questions that Cheryl Atkinson poses, essentially who watches the watchman, who investigates the investigators, seem to be increasingly relevant ones, as far as I can tell. For more on this, we're pleased to be joined by Ron Hosko. He's a former FBI Assistant Director, now the President for the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund. Ron, thanks for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good to be with you again.
What about the Boyd letter and the reaction it's getting from journalists like Atkinson? What is it exactly the FBI doesn't want to see come to light? Why shouldn't it come to light? And or doesn't the FBI have to do better than just kind of the blanket cover story of it would impede Mueller's investigation?
So how long do we have? Do we have most of the morning?
We have an hour, 45 minutes.
So there's a lot of pieces to unravel in this and to talk about. First, I think there is certainly internal review mechanisms for the FBI that each of us can doubt because it is the organization looking at itself. And there's plenty of reason to think that can fail for any organization, and that information can be concealed or covered up or recreated conveniently for the organization. I'm encouraged by the fact that the Department of Justice Inspector General, who in my own experience is very independent of the FBI, is very willing to criticize the FBI, has had the lead investigative role in looking at big pieces of the ongoing scandals. And that is the Clinton investigation, where politics involved in how that case was concluded. And the Inspector General does have full access to all the electronic communications of the participants, can come in and interview whoever they want under oath, and build their report. And I hope with each passing day, I desperately hope that report gets made public sooner rather than later, and that Christopher Wray, the new director, can take some action.
Well, do you think the memo is a ploy to damage public confidence in the FBI?
I absolutely believe that. And here's the difficult part for us. First, we have the blurring of the lines between legitimate reporting and commentary, punditry, that you now see on what were once traditional news channels, or hear it on news channels. There's a blurring of the lines. And frankly, we all know that the battle lines in this and in Hillary have been drawn, and the skirmish lines have moved and been fought over, but we generally know who the parties are. And the parties involve Congress. That is quite clear. And now we have a situation where you have Nunes, who seems to have gone off the rails in the past and then come back on and was accused of politicizing the House Intelligence Committee, now has a 4-page memo that the Democrats are saying, let us see it so we can respond to it. They've been, it sounds like in some measure, denied reviewing it, accessing it. So they're going to create their own memo, although they've obviously seen the contents, because they're disputing the accuracy of the contents. They're saying this creates a false picture. So they're going to now, as of yesterday, sound like they were going to write their own memo, their counter memo, that rebuts and undermines the value, the accuracy of this Republican memo.
Well, okay, so, but you have so you have two political parties and two political agendas, and you also have a law enforcement agency that seems to be hyper politicized, as far as I can tell, too, and that's the FBI for starters, since we're focused there. And I'm not just talking about the Strzok and Lisa Page texts, which are extraordinary, particularly given their respective roles in senior positions at the FBI, and Strzok's role in material role in investigations of both Clinton and Trump. Even setting that alone is enough. But then in addition to that, you have the FBI, including under Christopher Wray, that's been stonewalling Congress for documents that members of Congress thought they had assurances they were going to receive. Now the FBI is saying, we want to see a copy of the memo, and it's not fair that we're not seeing a copy of the memo. The same FBI that's been stonewalling the House Intelligence Committee with respect to the production of subpoenaed documents. So, the FBI seems to be a hyper-political organization, too.
Well, while I agree with a lot of what you said, I would disagree with this. I would disagree with the notion that the FBI is. Look, the FBI is 35,000.
I mean, at the
FBI
leadership level.
agents.
I mean, at the leadership
Yeah,
level.
right. I mean, we need to make sure we're defining our terms, because we're really talking about a relatively small group of people that are in the center of this discussion.
Yes.
I have been told that the FBI has bent over backwards in document production to Congress on a lot of these issues. That Congress has lots of this stuff. They could certainly ask for more, and I think there is a kind of a balancing act that sometimes has to be struck between co-equal branches of government, where yes, Congress has oversight authority over the FBI. That doesn't necessarily mean Congress gets to come in and take my entire case file on an ongoing criminal investigation.
No,
that's
but I mean,
not how that works.
No, that's true, and that's a fair point. But what about things like how they obtained the FISA warrant in the first place? Did they use the Steele dossier? What was exactly the nature of the relationship between the FBI and Christopher Steele over the course of the last 18 months? Those seem to me pertinent questions that are not related to the Russian collusion investigation directly, that more are related to how the FBI operates.
I agree with you. I agree with you totally. I think that is the core of this inquiry. How did they use that? And look, I was, I worked on the criminal side of the organization virtually my entire career. And I don't know precisely the steps to a FISA, although I've been involved in some of those in a portion of my career. But I'll tell you this, the FBI is not nothing if not a bureaucracy. And with a bureaucracy, you have layers and layers and layers. And when you're talking about using extraordinary intelligence collection techniques like a Title III, what we call a wiretap on the criminal side, or a FISA to collect your phone conversations, emails on the national security side, there are a lot of layers. And the notion of an agent, let's say even somebody who's perceived as a politicized rogue agent like Peter Strzok, the notion of that he has the ability to take, say, the FISA, the dossier, and type up an affidavit and run to the FISA court, knowing it is totally unvetted, unvalidated. The notion of him being able to do that, to me, is ridiculous. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do that. I'm just saying I know the layers, and that involves internal lawyers looking at it, external folks from DOJ, who the presumption would be that they colluded too, or they failed to do their job. Look, if those systems all failed, then change is badly needed at the FBI. New internal controls are badly needed. I don't think it went that way, but I do think, to your point, the FBI should produce some documents and some evidence to Congress that suggests how they proceeded.
Do you think that this is a black eye for the FBI? I mean, I know you're a former FBI assistant director, but have you lost some trust in your own former agency?
Oh, I have. And that it hurts me to say that. Is it a black eye? It is a black eye. One of the things that I think the FBI is not doing well right now is they are on their heels in the PR battle for the high ground, or to at least clear the air that they're not involved in anything political. How do you do that when you have all these text messages between the lovebirds, which in my estimation and a lot of others is outrageous? Look, some of these actions have damaged the reputation that thousands of us worked to build over the years. The organization is very dependent on the trust of the public. And some of these actions call into question the organization, although I have to repeat, there are agents in Chicago and in Los Angeles and in Kansas City working around the clock to, prevent acts of terror. And
yeah, of course.
So we have to distinguish among the two. But it has tarnished our badges, and it's going to take some time to recover.
Do you think?
Go ahead.
Do you think Strzok and Page should be gone?
Yeah, what are they still there for?
Well, look, there are most agencies, good agencies, police department or otherwise, law enforcement, have internal due process mechanisms.
Right, I understand.
You have to have evidence and a hearing and due process. And so I think they're entitled to that. However, I think I wish, and I've wished this with others, that Christopher Wray would be in the Inspector General's office demanding an early read on his findings so that Wray can act. And if that means somebody is fired, somebody's removed from the senior executive service, that he takes swift, decisive action so that we all understand he's taking swift, decisive action to take out the cancerous part, do it. I wish he would do that. Even if he did it prematurely in this case based on what has already been public. The tryst, the adulterous affair, the volume of text messages, the politicizing. Look, agents everywhere. I felt passionately about my cases when I worked in Chicago. I went after kidnappers and bank robbers and white-collar thieves who would take your last penny. I was passionate that they were corrupt as hell, and I wanted to put them in jail for as long a time as possible. We want agents to feel passionately about the subjects of their cases for the most part. But when your personal politics impact, and you're talking about, the highest profile corruption case, corruption in some way, political case, you need to divorce yourselves of that silliness. And these electronic records, those impact the case. Your personal biases are discoverable, and they're going to get turned over, and they're going to impact the case. This is ridiculous on so many levels. It's unprofessional on so many levels. It's insulting to those of us who have done the job with fidelity and those who are on the job doing it now, because it's raising doubt about their cases too.
He is Ron Hosko.
It's deeply troubling.
He is Ron Hosko, former FBI Assistant Director, now the President for the Law Enforcement Legal Defense Fund. Ron, thanks again for joining us. Appreciate your insights as somebody who was on the inside of the agency. Thanks very much.
Sure thing.
And he joined us on our turnkey.pro answer line.
Listen to podcasts of Dan and Amy from the AM 560 mobile app. Download it today at 560theanswer.com/mobile.
President Trump has been booed during a Q&A session at the World Economic Forum.
In Davos? That means he
Davos.
said something correct.
Oh, hey, yay. Coming up. Maybe that story, maybe not. I don't know. But your weather you're going to love. It is just beautiful outside. It is going to be a high of 53 degrees. Plenty of sunshine, some increasing cloudiness toward the end of the day, but have a joyous day out there. Go golfing, Dan. Your weekend looks like this Saturday. Maybe you can squeeze in a few rounds. A high of 46 degrees with partly sunny skies. Sunday, partly sunny, but back to reality, a high in the mid-30s. Let's get into the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. Any trouble on the roadways? Here's Jim Telemonte.
Oh, yes, Amy and Dan, Tri-State southbound, it's closed. North Avenue to the Eisenhower, and traffic is backed up to Irving Park. The northbound side has delays. Around 95th to Archer, from Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. Northbound Veterans Memorial bottled up from Fountain Toll to the Reagan Tollway, southbound North Avenue to Roosevelt. Eden's 21 minutes, Lake Cook to Montrose, outbound 35, crash past Toohey in the left lane. Kennedy, 55 minutes, O'Hare to downtown, outbound 25. The Ike, an hour and 10 minutes, 390 to downtown, outbound 35 minutes. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes, 355 to the drive. The Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. I'm Jim Talamonte in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center.
Just figuring out my plans for this weekend. 4 basketball games, 2 soccer games, soccer practice, volleyball. Dan's got the whole rundown. And this is why I like to escape and go to fun places, all-inclusives with Dan and Amy. It's our annual Passport to Paradise trip presented by Arlington Heights Heating and Cooling and by Joe Cotton Ford. We are staying at the beautiful Secrets Maroma Beach, Riviera Cancun. Riviera Cancun is just a suburb of Cancun. It's about 30 minutes from the airport, and this resort has all the bells and whistles, and I just love that it's adults only. 24-hour room service, 9 different restaurants. They have foam parties in the pool. It's just going to be a great time. Go to 560theanswer.com/passport. Apple Vacation has secured a great price for us for this trip, but it won't last forever. And listen up, from now until February 9th, you can enter to win a trip for two by downloading and launching the AM560 mobile app. Just go to 560theanswer.com/mobile to get the mobile app and enter to win this trip. Don't miss your chance to escape the cold and snow of Chicago and spend a week with us in paradise. Go to 560theanswer.com/passports.
St. John's Northwestern Military Academy has been an all-male military school since 1884, but is going co-ed beginning summer 2018. Their midterm registration is January 21st, and you're invited to attend an upcoming St. John's open house. Consider St. John's Northwestern Military Academy for your son or daughter's middle and high school education in the beautiful Lake Country region of southwest Wisconsin. Your child will receive outstanding academics, superb athletics, leadership opportunities, a chance to live and learn with students from around the world, and most importantly, a safe and structured environment where each student can achieve at his or her full potential. To learn more about how a St. John's Northwestern Military Academy education can give your child the advantage he or she deserves, don't miss an upcoming St. John's open house. For open house dates and more information, call 1-800-SJ-CADET. That's 1-800-SJ-CADET. Or visit their website, sjnma.org. That's sjnma.org.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We are so thrilled with this product. He was literally getting up, laying on the couch, and falling asleep. He's so alert. It's amazing, totally amazing. This is a great product. His sodium levels have been low for, I would say, maybe close to 20 years. He's normal now, and this is the first time, and I can't even thank you enough.
The last thing I want to do is stop taking this. I definitely have lots more energy.
Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
Shoot Point Blank is Chicago's leading shooting range and firearms store. Featuring 20 climate-controlled shooting lanes, complete retail store, and firearm education classes for all experience levels. Whether you're a new or expert shooter, now you can experience the Shoot Point Blank difference and see for yourself why so many people are talking about Shoot Point Blank.
I can tell you, I was impressed as soon as I walked through the door. The employees were really helpful, very patient, and knowledgeable, too.
My wife and I had a wonderful experience. We felt very comfortable and informed.
Brett was very friendly and respectful, and he answered all my questions. Because I'm new to pistols, I'm grateful he was patient and helped me decide what to buy for my new firearm.
For a huge selection of new and used firearms, ammo, and state-of-the-art indoor shooting range, visit them in Hodgkins, Mokina, Naperville, or Merrillville. Or check out shootpointblank.com. Experience the difference. Shoot Point Blank.
AM 560, The Answer.
I'll take a quick call from Neil from Elmwood Park in reaction to the Ron Hosko interview. Neil, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Amy. Yeah, you know what? I was really disappointed with this guy. I was expecting a lot more than just blah, blah, blah from this guy, from the positions he's held and where he's at now. You know, he mentioned something about the layers and how it he didn't think that that's how it went down. It's precisely the layers that we're talking about. How many people did it go through that colluded in on this thing? That's the whole point of this thing.
Yeah.
You know, in his other point about hey, you bet. I can't stand the talking point of don't put the whole FBI under the bus on this thing. But you know what? The whole FBI has a black eye on it. Nobody trusts it anymore. It's not just the leaders. The entire FBI has no credibility anymore.
Thanks for the
We
call.
gotta stop talking about it.
Thanks for the call, Neil. Appreciate that.
Coming up on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Did Trump just bait Democrats into making immigration the referendum for the 2018 midterms? Take your calls at 8:38.
And later, Stormy Daniels. Oh, she's going to make her first appearance. We'll tell you where. And, of course, it's right after Trump's State of the Union address. Yeah, that thing. But first, let's go into the newsroom. Here's Mike Scott.
40 degrees and sunshine. We're following developments in South Korea at this hour, where 37 are dead and 140 are injured, several critically after a fire swept through a hospital. Officials say patients had to walk through fire and toxic smoke to escape, while the main exit on the first floor was ablaze. Patients trapped on upper floors had to use ladders and plastic escape slides to get out of the building. Firefighters rushed in and carried those who could not walk out. The 6-story hospital did not have a sprinkler system and under Korean law did not require one. Clock is ticking on the fate of the USA Gymnastics Board. The U.S. Olympic Committee is calling on all 21 members to resign following the life sentence of former national team doctor Larry Nassar. President Trump in Davos, Switzerland, says the U.S. is roaring back.
I'm here to deliver a simple message. There has never been a better time to hire, to build, to invest, and to grow in the United States.
He promoted his America First agenda at that Global Economic Forum. A couple of notes to watch. Airline ticket prices may be going up very soon. American Airlines CEO Doug Parker saying this morning fares are too low given higher fuel prices. A recall is underway for 7 brands of frozen green beans and other mixed vegetables that may be contaminated with listeria. National Frozen Foods recall notice says the veggies were distributed to 21 states. A Northwest suburban gymnastics coach is accused of having sex with a teenage student. Kendale Coates now faces 2 felony counts of criminal sexual assault. Authorities believe he had sex with a 16-year-old girl at a Libertyville hotel earlier this month and multiple times at his home. Coates worked at the U.S. Gymnastics Training Center in Lake Zurich. A so-called serial stowaway is now banned from all Chicago airports. Marilyn Hartman was arrested last week after she snuck past security at O'Hare and then boarded a flight to London without a ticket. Cook County judge reduced her bond yesterday but ordered her release. In that release, warned her to stay away from O'Hare and Midway. Alex DeBrincat a hat trick in the Blackhawks win over the Red Wings in Detroit, 5-1. Bulls and Lakers meet later tonight at the UC. The news service of Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Geico could help you get great coverage at a great price, and it only takes 15 minutes to see if you could save 15% or more on car insurance. Go to geico.com today and see how much you could save. 8:35, we'll have a check of traffic and weather on the way next on AM 560.
Stop by Subway Restaurants for a foot-long fave for $4.99. Limited time only at participating restaurants. Additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
If you're missing teeth or even a single tooth, dental implants are a fantastic way to regain your confidence, your smile, and your dental health. Dennis Prager here. You hear a lot of people screaming at you about dental implants, get it done in a day, or we can treat everybody, or hundreds of thousands of implants. Well, successful implants don't come from an implant factory. What you don't hear talked about is skill, treatment, and installation. These are what make for successful lifelong implants, and that's why you need to see Dr. Naruzzi at Fox River Periodontics. Dr. Naruzzi is the recommended choice of dentists that don't do implants. You need the experience, skill, and honesty that 24 years of dental implants bring. Everyone is different. Don't settle for mass-produced implants. Did you know that there is a difference in quality of the actual implant itself? Some are made to last, and some aren't.
This is Dr. Naruzzi. I personally guarantee your happiness with your implants.
Call Fox River Periodontics 630-632-7400 or just remember implantsforme.com.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you?
If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
8:37. Let's get an update on the roads now in the Alarm Detection Systems Traffic Center. The very latest with Jim Talamonte.
Thanks, Mike. The biggest trouble spot right now is the Tri-State Tollway southbound. Traffic's at a standstill from Irving Park to North Avenue. There's a crash between North Avenue and the Eisenhower. All lanes are blocked. Traffic is getting by on the right shoulder, but very slowly. Northbound it's slow from 95th to Archer, from the Stevenson to the Hinsdale Oasis, and from the Reagan Tollway to the Grand Avenue curve. On Reagan Tollway, stop and go Randall to 31 after a crash. Northbound Veterans Memorial jam from the Boughton Toll to the Reagan Tollway. Eden's is 21 minutes. Lake Hook to Montrose, outbound 35 after a crash past Toohey. Counted 55 minutes. O'Hare to downtown, 40 from Montrose, 30 in the Express. Outbound 25 to the airport. Eisenhower, an hour and 5 minutes, 390 to downtown, 45 minutes from Manheim. Outbound 37 to 390. Stevenson, an hour and 5 minutes from 355 to Lakeshore Drive. The Ryan, 35 minutes, 95th to downtown. Traffic answers when you need them most. I'm Jim Talamonte, AM 560, The Answer.
Chicago's Morning Answer continues next. Your official Chicagoland weather forecast. Strong winds this afternoon. Wind gusts could hit 35 miles an hour. Clouds on the increase. High near 53. Winds will subside a little bit overnight. Low 41. Currently 40 and sunshine. Next news at 9. Chicago's Morning Answer with Dan and Amy continues next on AM 560, The Answer.
This hourly segment is brought to you by Advanced Planning Advisors, bringing you Smart Money Talk with Mike Moylan and Rob Curvin, Saturday mornings at 6.
Let freedom ring this afternoon at 2 with Sean Hannity, right before Joe Walsh at 5 on AM 560, The Answer.
Good morning, Dan and Amy. Take your calls on Trump's DOA DACA proposal, and what do you think he was trying to do? Perhaps there's going to be no deal on DACA, and this is going to be a proxy for the 28 midterms. It's going to make the 28 midterms a referendum on immigration to reignite enthusiasm among the base to keep up with the enthusiasm of the resistance. Is that a possibility? 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line. I'll explain in a minute, but just more reaction from our interview with former Assistant FBI Director Ron Hosko. Take Emmanuel from Oak Lawn. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Yeah, hi, Dan and Amy. Great show. The Mr. Hosko, he seemed like a nice, hardworking FBI agent when he was there. But, Dan, when you asked him that simple question, should Peter Strzok and Lisa Page be gone, he couldn't answer a simple, of course they should be gone. Yesterday, a first-year business ethics class at a college, students there would know he needs to be gone. And if Christopher Wray, the head of the FBI, hasn't done that, then the whole FBI is suspect. The public has lost confidence in the whole FBI.
Yeah.
And that's my comments.
Thanks for the call, Emmanuel. I appreciate it.
Him? I mean, I feel like they're protecting this Peter Strzok guy.
I don't know. I don't know if they are. I mean, yes, all the kind of caveats and qualifiers, internal due process, and all that. Right. But in terms of what the upshot is, how this should end, it should end with both of them gone. There's no question about it.
And again, nobody wants to text messages more than Peter Strzok's wife.
It's not a close call. Yeah.
I mean, seriously, if anybody.
No, one person does. Peter Strzok's wife's divorce attorney.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, that's the one person.
Right.
All right, switching gears to immigration. Trump proposes this path of citizenship for 1.8 million persons here with a temporary designation, DACA, or who could have had the temporary designation, So now you're more than doubling the numbers we've been talking about in exchange for $25 billion for the wall and border security, recasting chain migration to be merit-based, and eliminating the diversity visa lottery. E-Verify, not part of the deal. Anything on sanctuary state or sanctuary city, not part of the deal. Good deal. And the Democrats rejected it summarily. It was not even a discussion. We reject it. Trump,
Off with its head.
Here's a proposition for reaction. Trump knew this was not going to be something Democrats would accept because they're not going to accept anything except phony baloney kind of appropriations for border security without mentioning the wall. They're just dug in. Schumer doesn't want a deal. He thinks DACA is the pathway to House majority and perhaps a Senate majority, or at least making up some ground in the Senate, which you don't need to make up that much, although you got to protect a lot of incumbents that are vulnerable in red states. So bottom line, Schumer and Pelosi think this is the pathway to power, is not to get a deal done, but to continue to be able to wave the DACA flag. Trump recognizes that. He comes over the top to look eminently reasonable, to project negotiating in good faith, offering more on DACA and the number of individuals who could be availed a path to citizenship than has been discussed, including in that very public 1-hour roundtable with congressional leaders a couple of weeks back. He restates the things that he said previously, so there's consistency. He knows it gets rejected, and we litigate this all the way to November.
You got it all figured out.
Well, I'm just saying that's one theory.
Well, it's a good theory.
If you think that he's behaving in a politically strategic way for the purposes of maximizing the opportunity to hold the House and the Senate in November 2018. 312-642-5600, turnkey.pro answer line, 64636DA, turnkey.pro text line. Take your calls on, any that proposition and anything related to it.
Why don't we take Ann, who's been on the line for 3 hours now? Or is it 4 hours? I think she called it 3 hours. I just heard from our technical producer. It's 3 hours.
I think she can wait a little longer.
No, come on. Please, Dan.
Of course, we love Ann.
We love Ann.
Ann in Chicago. You're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Well, I love you too.
Thank you.
It was a good show yesterday at the jail.
Thank you.
The interview was very interesting. Well, what I want to say is that 1 million or 2 million people cross our borders illegally, when they plunder our wealth, when they take over our government and our language, we have to pay for the wall. They want citizenship. I call that an invasion. I don't know if they call it immigration, but I call it an invasion. Wave after wave, people are coming here illegally. What is left of our country? What is left of us, the citizens of the United States who are loyal to this country?
Thanks for the call, Ann. Appreciate that.
That was worth the 3-hour wait.
That's a fair comment. Here's something else, because the whole idea of wall funding has become like dismissed, or this is marginal, or it's no big deal, or it's not a real wall, or it's not going to be a real wall in 2,000 miles. Nobody said it was. This is sort of the argument is this sort of virtue signaling. It's not important, and he'll take anything and call it funding for the wall.
He wants $25 billion. It started out with $18 million, so now he's offering, $25.
Well, George Gallatin, who's a technology writer living in New York City, has a good piece in Quillette.com, Why Walls Work. And he provides a couple of real-world examples set up by this. The plain truth is that walls are effective. They must, of course, be paired with interior enforcement, labor verification, law enforcement strategies. But the current drive for walls pivots upon the fact that once erected, they are the one migration measure that is relatively immune to political oscillations. In other words, the walls go up, even if you have a different philosophy on immigration. It's not likely that you're going to have politicians say, go take those walls down. He also points out a couple of real-world examples, Hungary and Israel. In Hungary, the government erected hundreds of miles of fencing in the summer of 2015 and watched illegal crossings plummet. The government announced an expansion to this wall last spring, and through physical barriers, the Hungarians seem to have solved their illegal migration problem. Israel is perhaps the most effective border security program in the world. A network of fences and sensors along their southern border is so effective that last year they reported 0 illegal crossings. So those who argue that border walls are not effective are either ignorant of these facts or dishonest. In the 21st century, walls are an instrumental component of a sane, humane, legal migration program. Bill on the north side, you're on Chicago's Morning Answer.
Hey, good morning. You know, they always use the children to make it, how can you refuse to have the children? But the children with the chain migration, their grandparents come here. They go into our nursing homes on our welfare systems. The nursing homes have to hire interpreters to speak the different languages, not only Spanish, but Polish, Chinese, Philippines, and it cost is unbelievable. The hidden costs, they always use the child because nobody wants to say, pick that child and take him back to where you belong.
Right, the 30-year-old child. Bill, let me ask you this question. If the Democrats would have said, you got a deal, President Trump, the deal that he put on the table yesterday, is that a fair deal for you?
No, I say all illegals go back. And now that you've been educated in our country, go back to your country and show them the way things can be and fight for your country like we and our forefathers fought for our country.
All right.
My father was in the military. I was in the military. My son's in the military. Afghanistan, Bronze Star recipient. I love this country. But we fought for this country. We're the ones who made this country what it is, not people from other countries.
No, we're a land of immigrants.
Thanks for the call, Bill. I mean, I think you know what he means.
know.
Yes, but yes, obviously, the entire notion of America is people coming from the world over to attempt this historic experiment in self-governance. And so we want to continue to do that, but we want to do this in a sensible way. And the question is the deal on the table advancing us in the direction of the sensible way, or is it more regressing? Steve in Naperville.
I've been noticing that the discourse over deportation is that it's a punishment. And why do we consider it a punishment? Deportation is really putting people back where they should be.
Okay. I mean, it kind of goes back to this fundamental question, right? What is our immigration policy? From what perspective should we enact policy? From our perspective in terms of the country's self-interest, or from the individual who wants to be in this country's self-interest? And I think depending on the lens through which you look at these questions, it drives you to two very different answers. And so obviously somebody who doesn't want to leave sees deportation as a punishment.
Well, yes, but the reality is that if they're here illegally, they just can't stand up and say, well, because it's illegal, I think it's right. You can't do it that way. It should be through the lens of what the needs are. If you go to Ellis Island and you go to that museum, you see that everybody came over had to have a job before they would be let in. That really goes back way.
Thanks, Steve. Jordan in Forest Park.
My grandpa didn't have a job.
Hey, good morning, Dan and Amy. I work in a business where, we're enrolling people in 401k plans, and Social Security verification from the employer is a major reason why there's illegal immigration. The Social Security system has multiple people, in many cases, are using the same Social Security number, and nothing is ever followed up on it. We personally had a case where there was a person in Florida that went in for unemployment insurance and found out he couldn't get it because there was somebody up in Illinois had the same Social Security number. Turns out the one in Illinois was an illegal alien. And so they know this, and then nothing's done about it. This is what they have to do that. And there's been, even the Trump administration right now could find out thousands of people that are illegal just by looking at Social Security, because you have to send in payroll taxes and withholding. So nobody really wants to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look like anybody will. Maybe even Trump.
Thanks, Jordan.
There's only one radio show in Chicago talking about today's biggest stories and telling you what they really mean. That show is this one, Chicago's Morning Answer on AM 560. The Answer.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, this may be the last time you ever have to think about hair loss. Because I'm telling you, Bosley is the real deal. They're giving men their hair back permanently. Their real hair. All it takes to get started on the hair gain train is a single text message. We'll send you a link with direct access to a special website that unlocks an incredible offer. An absolutely free information kit and a free gift card. Simply text STRONG to 85850. Bosley will show you for free how great your hair could look. Dude, this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're America's #1 hair restoration expert, ahead of the curve with the latest technology. And the best part, Bosley's solution is permanent. Drop what you're doing, get direct access to a special site for your free information kit and gift card for $250 off by texting STRONG to 85850. That's STRONG to 85850.
This is Dan Proft with 60 Seconds of Sanity, sponsored by Upstream-Ideas.com. On the occasion of the 44th Annual March for Life, commemorating the worst U.S. Supreme Court decision since Dred Scott, I reflect on my own march. I was born in April 1972, and I was adopted. So had the law been different 9 months earlier, perhaps my birth mother's decision would have been as well. Our rights may come from our Creator, but today, most people equate legal license with moral rectitude. It's not like it's illegal, right? So what's the big deal? For many Americans, it was no big deal that last year Planned Parenthood eliminated 321,384 children created in God's image, just as valuable as me or you or the President of the United States or your favorite actor, athlete, or artist. Roe v. Wade is bad law, both on its merits and its effects. It fueled the drive away from the law as instruction on living the kind, virtuous life. Today, the law mainly serves our how do I get to yes culture by sanctioning the unrestrained appetites of dopamine junkies, so long as the government is cut in on the action. It's one thing for rapacious statists to view us as their sentinels. The trick is getting us to agree with them. Our hope, as exemplified by the March for Life attendees, is to be found in those who don't agree.
AM 560's Passport to Paradise contest is open to any legal U.S. resident, age 18 or older. To enter, download the AM 560 mobile app and fill out the entry form between January 22nd and February 9th, 2018. One grand prize winner will be randomly chosen on February 12th and will receive a 7-night trip for two to Riviera Maya, Mexico, including round-trip airfare and a junior suite at the Secrets Maroma Beach Riviera, Cancun. Approximate retail value $3,334. Visit 560theanswer.com for complete rules.
Highland Park Ford Lincoln's in the house. Here's Alan Marty.
We're back on the radio and getting bigger than ever.
We're the #1 Lincoln dealer in town.
And Chicagoland's first ever Ford Lincoln Superstore, too.
Folks like our great deals, for sure.
Just yesterday, I got attacked by the paparazzi.
Really?
But I think the groupies are the worst.
Groupies?
All the Highland Park groupies we have.
Sure. Right, Al.
The Highland Park Ford Lincoln Superstore. Call 1-800-984-9000 or go to alanmarty.com.
Well, I have groupies.
A rich fantasy life is important.
This is Alan Marty. Deal with us.
Balance of Nature's fruits and veggies.
We love the product. I think we've been on it for, 12 years now, or pretty close, and we believe in it, and we're going to continue taking it.
I have a $1,200 knee brace because I have bone on bone in my left knee, and I have a torn cartilage in my right knee. And since I've been taking Balance of Nature, I don't wear my brace, and I can walk without pain. It's I had these copper things I used to put on my knees. I don't use those either. I don't use anything. I think it's just wonderful. Have the confidence that you're giving your body what it needs. Call now to receive 35% off your first Balance of Nature order. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751. Or go online to balanceofnature.com. Use promo code CHICAGO.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Thanks to you, Ace was awarded its 11th straight J.D. Power Award for customer satisfaction with home improvement retail stores. To say thanks, we're giving you 20% off throughout the store. And as always, the help is free. So hurry into your local Ace and save 20% on select items this Friday through Sunday only. Offer valid for Ace Rewards members only at participating stores. Additional conditions and exclusions apply. See store for details. For J.D. Power Award information, visit jdpower.com.
You're up before dark 30. You don't ask for medals or even a pat on the back. But if all your hard work is indeed its own reward, then consider the new Ram Limited Tungsten Edition as a bonus. Natura Plus leather seating, premium projector headlamps, suede headliner, packaged in the highly capable, hard-working truck you'd expect from Ram. Keep doing what you do. But who says you can't do it in a nicer truck? The new Ram Limited Tungsten, the most luxurious Ram truck ever. Ram is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-400-1902. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-400-1902. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-400-1902. 1-800-400-1902.
Millwright work is often technical and requires a high degree of precision. The pros at Vans Industrial are skilled mechanics that can perform any type of millwright work, including installation and maintenance of your factory equipment and machinery. For your machine repair needs, look no further than Vans Industrial.
Hi, I'm Dave Van Camp, president of Vans Industrial. Vans Industrial is an industrial millwright contractor that can install new mechanical systems or repair existing systems. Our services include repair of bearings, shafts, shiv alignments, as well as installation of conveyors and bucket elevators. Our team of trained mechanics will respond to your emergency calls 24/7, keeping your systems operational. We're here to help you.
Call 833-VANS-IND for a free inspection of your facility. That's 833-VANS-IND. Interested in what else they do? Visit vansindustrial.com. That's VANS Industrial.com. Quality craftsmanship since 1964.
AM 560, The Answer.
So Stormy Daniels is going to be on with Jimmy Kimmel on Tuesday. Ooh. And he says,
opposite the State of the Union.
Yeah, he said, I have many questions for her. I wonder what she's going to be able to say. Okay, you don't care.
I'll be riveted. Those two intellectual heavyweights, Jimmy Kimmel and Stormy Daniels.
Speaking of porn stars, Ron Jeremy has been banned from the big porn awards because of sexual assault allegations.
Well, porn stars have rights too.
Well, he said he's not a rapist, but a groper. He said, yes, I am a groper. I grope. I mean, I get paid to go to these shows, events, photo shoots, and I touch people, and they touch me back.
All right, I have to go take a shower.
All right, thanks so much for making us part of your work week. Thanks to Justin Kosick, our technical director, our associate producer, Quinn McCarthy, and, of course, the very best in the business, our manager and producer, Keith Conrad. We're back here Monday morning, 5 a.m. Have a glorious weekend and stay safe. Now here is Mike Scott.
A serial stowaway banned. A plan to ban most youth tackle football. And the Blackhawks look good. WIND Chicago News Time, 9 o'clock.